Summon Sign is brought to you by you. If you want to learn how to support our show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 101. I am your host, Brad Ellis of Summon Sign, Last Stand Media's weekly in-depth game discussion podcast. And joining me, I have two fine gentlemen and one very special guest. But first, we're going to start with Mr. Lockmore, an old reliable here. The man, the myth, the legend. Lockmore, how are you today?
I'm very, very good, Brad, because it finally happened. We're finally in the majority. Europe rules. It took me 5 years, but it finally happened. You're in the minority now, Brad. Good luck.
I know. It's scary, man. I'm not used to this. But yes, also our special guest, we have Simon Zijlemans.
Yeah.
Simon.
Yeah.
Once again, forgive me for the butchering of your last name pronunciation.
No. That was perfect. It's you can safely translate it to Sailor Man, so some people in the US. So I'm glad you're going with Simon Zijlemans.
Yeah. Simon, man, if people don't know who you are, you've been a long-time LSM listener, but you're also in the industry. Yeah. What are you doing? What are you
also
doing
in the industry? Pretty close to Locke as well.
Yes.
We speak the same language.
Yes,
I'm from Hermanhulst country, the Netherlands. And I've been in this industry for, I think, like 20 years now.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, that's a long time. I started out doing some website stuff and then quickly transitioned to making magazines. What turned out to be my great passion. I grew up on magazines, specifically Power Limited magazine, which people in Belgium and the Netherlands will know. And then I took a short break, about 10 years, started doing TV, hosting TV shows about gaming at first, and then mostly about sports. And then I came back last year to become editor-in-chief for Power Limited magazine, so the one I grew up with, and did different things like in between. I've done some ambassador work for PlayStation, did Twitch streaming, podcasting here and there. But yeah, it's so good to be back in doing the thing that I love most by far, which is making magazines, making print, having something to hold in your hand at the end of the month.
Yeah, when I told Locke you're going to be in the episode, he was thrilled because he grew up reading Power Unlimited and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
Locke, how's it feel to editor-in-chief right here?
Yeah, that's amazing, of course. That's amazing. Of course, the magazine, I read it when I was a kid, and then I think I stopped around the year 2000. But then I followed Simon on Twitter, so I knew he had something to do with like magazines in Holland, but I don't really, of course, once you grow older, you don't really look at magazines in the stores anymore. You mostly look at websites or YouTube. So when he told me that he was the editor-in-chief for Power Limited, I was ecstatic, of course, because Power Limited, Simon, I didn't tell you this before, but Power Limited, I remember very vividly reading an edition of your magazine in 1997 or 1998, I think. And there was a mention of Lord of the Rings, not the movie, because the movies didn't exist back then, but just the IP of Lord of the Rings was mentioned in Power Unlimited back then. And that caused me to read the books, and then the movies came out. And then, so I think you are probably one of the, or your magazine is one of the causes that I'm such a Westerbo, I think.
It's weird, man, because Power Limited truly is something iconic, because it started in, I think, 91 or 92, and they immediately made the decision not to just put the brand out there, but also give faces to the writers and exaggerate their characters. And in a time where that wasn't really something you'd easily do, and they made this magazine into something, like I said, it's truly iconic, one of the longest running magazines in the world, gaming magazines. And it's so weird because for me, I'm doing this a little over a year now. People come up to me like, oh shit, Power Limited and this and that's awesome. And they want to compliment me, but I'm like, oh dude, it's built on the shoulders of much greater people than me in an era where magazines were still booming, and I'm just taking it to the grave whenever that is, and I'm happy to play my little part. But it's truly the success is built by the OGs.
Yeah, super cool. I don't think we have Power Unlimited here in the States. I'm not super familiar with
Dutch.
it. Yeah, Dutch only. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say I never heard of it until before, but that's super cool. That's rad.
You would like it though, because it's
I believe it. Yeah,
like Simon said, it's very American. I think, or I feel like it's very American in the way it's written, and Simon says, huh?
Yeah.
It's geared toward personalities, which is very unique. So as a kid, when you read it as a kid, Simon, you too probably. When you read it as a kid, you knew it was special, like it was something different than the other magazines. That's probably why it exists.
Those are our heroes, man.
Yeah.
We saw them go abroad and visit studios, and they later, part of the crew went and started a game show on MTV called Game Kings, and like seeing them on TV, I think in the Netherlands, gaming was considered cool pretty early on, because these guys with all their tats and bald heads and beards, and we're doing sort of like a Top Gear all over the world, and everyone growing up, every gamer were watching that, and I ended up working for that show as well, and being there, and these guys like being my colleagues. That was super, super fucking weird.
Yeah, totally.
It's so cool.
Simon, holidays are coming up. I don't know. Are you guys in crunch mode or anything like that before taking a break, or do you guys kind of work through the whole month?
I'm not going to work a day in December. I just went to print last Friday, which is our final issue of the year. I'm not even sure when we're going to be back yet, but that'll probably be around end of January, maybe February. December is I've cleared my schedule.
Okay, awesome. So do you have a lot of games on the backlog to get through?
Yeah, man. I wish I could have played more this last month, but Arc Raiders came up.
Yeah,
that game is killing like every inch of my backlog or possibility of getting to it, man. I still want to play Hell Is Us. I want to play Adamfall. I still have Yakuza Infinite Wealth, which is by now it's been on my backlog for years. But yeah, Arc Raiders came through and kind of messed that all up, man. So I'm gonna get to those games, and I want to play some Tomb Raider 2 as well this December.
Okay.
It's been a long time. So
yeah. Game Awards are coming up a couple weeks from now. Anything you're hoping to see there?
For me, I kind of given up on being hyped for these shows, man. It's I remember
smart thing to do.
Yeah, I remember staying up all night because we had Game Awards and we had E3, and that was kind of it. And now these days there are like so many shows, and every once in a while there's something good or something great. But if I could choose one thing, just give me a new Castlevania, man. That's all I'm asking for, or something. I'm a big Chrono Cross guy as well, so something Square could do with that. But they did the remaster, so it's not going to be anything new, and nobody buys that game. So no big hype, no big hype moments. I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna watch it, and get through all the Chinese ads, and hope there's something there for me.
Locke,
I know you're hoping for Half-Life 3 as always.
Well, yeah,
Dream alive.
Yeah, of course, I'm always hoping for Half-Life 3, but this year it'll definitely happen or not. We'll see. But just before we started recording, I don't know, Simon, you've probably also seen this, right? Like the statue in Joshua 3.
Oh my God, yeah.
That nobody knows what it is, and then Jess Gordon thought it was Diablo, and I was pretty much convinced it was Diablo too. But now, an hour ago, Jason Schreier came out and said it's definitely not Diablo, but he knows what it is, but he doesn't want to tell us what it is. So,
oh man.
At this point, I have no idea, but it looks so cool. It looks like a big company too, because they obviously threw money against it.
It's insane. Yeah. GF tweeting it out. But Schreier actually sent me a text like 15 minutes ago saying it's the sequel to Chrono Cross. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be great, man. It's gonna be. No, I have no idea. I thought the Diablo thing was a pretty sure shot, but apparently not.
Yeah, very strange. I thought it was Diablo too, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. Hopefully it's not lame, whatever it is.
But
whatever it is, the hype's already too big for that statue, man. Whatever it is.
Yeah, that's true. Before we get in the show, if you want to support us, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. You can get early ad-free access to all of our shows and stuff like Sacred Symbols Plus. So please support us there if you enjoy the content. Also, if you want some merch, go to laststandmedia.store. Micah will send you merch from their house. Call into Micah's house. She will send it to you personally. So if you want something from there, please check out the website. Playstalgia wrote and said, "Sup, Summoner homies. My question is for Lockmort. Why is he so awesome? Seriously, he's handsome, smart, funny, a great editor, video maker, cat dad, and more. Low-key, one of the best on LSM. Shout out to Locke." Wow, Locke.
Wow.
That's got to be unusual for you. We usually make fun of you here.
Yeah, well, that's I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. But thank you. That's very nice of you. I'm definitely not handsome, especially not when compared to you two, like a silver fox here and a Norse god. But thank you for saying it anyway. I appreciate it.
We're all
very
in
nice
acquired taste. There's
right.
There's someone out there loving all of us.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's very nice of you. Well, no, what was his name? I'll remember his name. What was his name?
Playstalgia.
Oh, I know him. Of course, Corey. He has a great YouTube channel. Follow him on YouTube. He has a great Twitter, great YouTube channel. He's making his own videos now, which are awesome. So follow him on YouTube. I think it's the same name, Playstalgia.
Playstalgia,
right?
I think that's how you'd say it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Corey. He's awesome.
Speaking of YouTube, Locke, you have a YouTube channel. That's pretty awesome as well.
Well, I do have a YouTube channel. Yeah, I don't know if it's awesome or not.
With really good videos, really great editing.
Oh, thank you.
Super good. Your latest one is Ghost of Yote.
Yes. It almost, if you look at my channel, it looks like I've been slacking this year. But Brad, you can attest that is not true.
Yes, I know. The thing is about Lockmore is I've learned he's just an extreme perfectionist with all of his work. It must be perfect, and he will spend so long on the shortest amount of time possible. Spend 12 hours for 3 seconds if that's what it takes.
That is true. But I have been working on a shit ton of videos in the back end. So starting hopefully this month, and otherwise next month, I will be able to put them out consistently. So you'll see a lot more videos. But Brad, I think you have a YouTube channel too.
No. This is my show. You can't do that to me. No. No.
Well, thank you. That's very nice of you and Corey. Yeah. Very nice.
All right. Simon, let's talk.
Yeah.
Metroid.
Before we talk.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
I didn't even express my gratitude for you inviting me here, man. It's
sure.
Didn't you say thank you? Yeah, let's start with that because like you said, day one Patreon, and it's really weird. I think everyone in the community can kind of relate when you're listening to the show. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're like, oh, if I was there, or how cool would it be? And then all of a sudden, your DM came in, and you're like, hey, want to be on the show? I was like, damn. So, yeah.
You know what? Well, I've been following you for a while, and I was like, I need to get him on the show, and I just kind of got distracted with other stuff over time. Then I saw you talking to Locke or something, and I was like, oh yeah, Simon, he'd be great for the show.
Yes. Yeah,
because I saw
really appreciate it, man. Yeah,
I haven't had a guest like you. Someone who's in the industry, especially on the magazine front. Yeah. I thought it was really fascinating getting your perspective on all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm always down to talk to new people. So you seem like a great fit. I was like, oh, he gets along with Locke already. We're good to go.
Same country, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, basically. I even made it. Do you know Chief Magazine, Locke? Which was in Belgium, running for a couple of years.
That does ring a bell, but I don't think I've ever read it. No.
Oh man, that was my pride and joy. Yeah.
Oh really? Was it the same thing as Power Limited, but
yes? Before I got to Power Limited, I started the competition first.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. Interesting.
Chief, it died after a few years, but I really enjoyed making it. But I wanted to say, yeah, thanks. Really appreciate it, man, and super excited to be here.
Oh yeah, dude, my pleasure. I'm happy to have you on here. I know the audience is going to enjoy you as well, so it'll be a good episode.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But yeah, Simon, you've been playing Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Yes.
Are you the one reviewing it for your outlet?
I was supposed to be the one reviewing it for the outlet. And up until last week, that was still the plan. Because I have a lot of history with Metroid and a lot of younger guys writing for the magazine these days. So not a lot of them grew up with Metroid or know the series like I do. So I really wanted to do it myself, last issue of the year. And then deadlines turned out to be days before we went to print, and I have to check everything and run everything down with the designers, and didn't have time to play it, so gave it to someone else who reviewed it, and but I did finish it.
Okay, great.
All the items, yeah.
I'm curious. You talked about this. Your history with Metroid. Talk to me a little about that.
Yeah. So I remember when GameCube came out, and I've never played like Super Metroid or the Metroids before that. Like back when Prime came out, and I saw this trailer of Prime and Resident Evil Remake, and I was like, this is going to be my first console I'm going to like import, because back in the day, like in the US, everything came out like way before we got it over here on the old continent. So got my GameCube before like most people here. Then I got Metroid when it came out, and I was just, I was blown away. For me, it's the pinnacle of gaming. It's the definition of a 10 out of 10 game. Like I can't name a single thing that's wrong with that game. And it fell in love ever since. Played everything. Went back to Super Metroid. Went back to the remakes, the Dread, the 2D, the 3D. Basically played everything out there except for Hunters on the 3DS.
Right.
But yeah, man, I love a good Metroid. Love the series. And I'm not even that big of a Metroidvania fan. I love Castlevania. I love Metroid. But the rest of it's mostly for
everything
me,
else outside of it, yeah.
Yeah. But ever since then, man, since Prime 1, I've been like blown away. The second you land on like Talon, and you hear those sounds and everything, man. That was a special moment in time.
Yeah, extremely atmospheric. Locke, I'm curious about you. Do you have any history with Metroid? I don't even know this about you.
No, absolutely not. Like Nintendo has always been like my
your blind spot. Yeah,
my blind spot in gaming. So I never grew up with Nintendo. I played Super Mario. I had a Game Boy, so I played Super Mario 2 and 1, I think, and that's it. That's basically all there is. But it's you guys always make it sound so amazing. So I definitely want to try it at some point. It sounds really cool. Yeah.
Metroid is a very special franchise. Unfortunately, it doesn't sell as well as some of the other Nintendo franchises, or most of them. I would say it's not really a big seller, but it is a big. It's like a big cult classic, I should say, for Nintendo. A cult hit. It's one of those games that people love. They just don't sell super well, but hopefully this one will sell well. Dread sold pretty well, so I'm hoping the Metroid grows, because I want it to grow way more.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and
Simon.
The remaster, look, that's something. That's a perfect place to start, man. I've been playing that as well this weekend, just checking it out, like how it was again and how rose tinted my nostalgia glasses were. But man, that play that game for 5 minutes. Trust me, you're locked in.
Oh, cool! That's really good. Awesome.
Yeah. Do you have a Switch still, Locke? I forgot.
No, I will buy a Switch 2. I told you I'll buy a Switch 2 whenever there's like whenever there's a couple of new games. Like I'm not going to buy a Switch 2 just for Donkey Kong.
Well, when Dusk Bloods comes out, you got to play with us. So.
Yes, but also when there's, but also when there's a new Zelda or a new Mario, I will definitely buy a Switch 2. But right now, I mean, I would play Donkey Kong and then it would just sit there. So
yeah, sure.
I want to wait until there's a couple of. But Dusk Bloods looks cool too. That's still from Software.
Yes, it is.
Right? Yeah. Looks cool too. Maybe
like PvP, PvE stuff. So
it's coming next year, right?
That's what we've been told. I don't know. We haven't seen it. Yeah. We haven't seen it for a long time, but we'll see. I hope it does. Very curious about it. All right, Simon, Metroid Prime 4, man. I guess just give me some of your general thoughts about the game so far.
Well, I was actually pretty scared before going in. Because like hype was zero, and I fully blame Nintendo for this. Like everything they showed, everything they said about the game made it sound and look worse. They had this trailer with the motor in the empty like open space, which was really bad trailer. That kind of dropped any excitement I had, like below zero. Then the last trailer they did, there was this fucking nerd with the glasses on, Miles McKenzie.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, we're not going to do this, man. Not in a Metroid game. I like my Metroid games like atmospheric, and you have to be like alone, and the feeling of isolation. And I'm like, we're not going to put like a badly written Marvel character in there, which they did. So like everything I saw, I was like, oh man, this is going to hurt. It's been, like 18 years or something since Metroid Prime 3. I've been waiting for so long, and then they're going to do this. Look how they massacred my boy. That was kind of the feeling I had. And they did a terrible job marketing it. And I started playing it, and the first level, it's like maybe 10 minutes. It's almost like a Halo level. You land on this planet, soldiers shooting everywhere, explosions, the space pirates are attacking. Stuff happens, and you get warped to this like truly alien planet. You have no idea where that planet is, where you are, how you ended up there, and you start in this jungle area, and the music kicks in, and it's looking so much better than any screenshot I've ever seen so far. It's looking so much better than I've seen in the trailers, and I kind of got that feeling like when I played Prime for the first time. I just explained, like, when you land on Talon 4, there's this Metroid vibe, and this game nails that specific moment, man. And I was like, okay, buckle up, we're in. This could be really good. And then you meet Miles Mackenzie,
right?
5 minutes later, and he's everything you hoped he wouldn't be. He's the first time you see him, he's just laying on his back on this wreck of his ship, and he's like talking to himself, saying like, well, one thing, you're on an alien planet. Another thing, you don't have to sit next to Phil anymore, your cubicle. And I'm like, no, don't fucking do this. Don't go there. He reminds me of that. I think his name was Bodhi or something from Destiny. This weirdly super out of place character. And he annoys the fuck out of me, man. Like I said, he has glasses, but he also has like a helmet with built-in goggles. And I mean, in this world with the level of technology, there's not a single reason to wear glasses. Yet he does, and the bad Marvel stuff, man. So that annoyed me to no end. Luckily, he's pretty much gone after 15 minutes. You bring him to base camp, and he doesn't bother you anymore after that. There are some other characters in the world, but there's never anyone explaining a puzzle or telling you what to do or pointing out weak spots of bosses or whatever. So they pretty much leave you alone. And as far as overall thoughts go, man, I really, really, really like this game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
For sure.
Great.
Not disappointed.
Yeah. Let's talk about some like the big changes, I guess. The biggest one, I guess, just being is the motorcycle. Was it called Viola? I think that's what it's called in this. How is that incorporated into the game? Does it feel natural in a Metroid world?
Well, to talk about Viola, I think you have to look at the structure of the game, which kind of reminded me of maybe something like Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
Not as good, but structurally, you have this big open field, like Metroid's Hyrule field in this case, which is an empty desert, not a lot to do. It's a pretty boring place, and you traverse it with your motorcycle Viola, which you get pretty much straight away after you finish the first area. And then you go to these different dungeons to get different keys. So that kind of felt like more old school Zelda than it felt Metroid. But once you get into the dungeons, or the areas, I should say, it's like different mini Metroids you're playing. And
okay. Interesting.
The whole open world, open field thing, the whole motorcycle, it's inoffensive. It doesn't suck. It's not fun. It's not fun either. So, yeah, they could have cut that, and I wouldn't have noticed. You would still have a great Metroid game. It does help a bit with the sense of scale, because you're seeing like Mount Doom in the distance. You're seeing this mountain or this thunderstorm when you go to the Thunder Plains, or these icy walls when you go to like the ice world. So it does kind of help with that, and I understand why they did it, to set the like different areas, different biomes apart.
Sure.
But if they'd have cut it, I wouldn't have mind at all.
Okay. So this like desert area, like you said, kind of like Hyrule Field, is there anything to really do there? Is there secrets to find and stuff like that? Yeah,
there are a lot of crystals you can gather for purposes that you learn about later. There are some, I should say temples, because it's technically what they are.
Yeah.
Some of them have really cool puzzles, but it's just maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 of them. You just go into this room and solve a puzzle. Most of them aren't that interesting. A couple of them are really cool. So definitely don't get hung up on the open world part or the field part, because it's actually the dungeons that really like put the Metroid in this game.
Yeah. Trying to think, what was I going to say? I had something in my mind I was going to ask you. Blah, 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 blah. What was I going to say?
How long is the game?
Question? Go ahead.
How long did it take you to finish it?
If I have to believe that, like the in-game timer and getting all the items, it's like 12 hours.
Okay.
which is way off for sure. Like
Oh.
literally, because I had to like run through this game quickly. Like one day I played for like 12 hours straight up until the end, and I already had a lot of hours on the clock, and my end time was 12 hours. So I was like, dude, this isn't right. So yeah, I don't know what it's tracking, or maybe when you're standing still or when you're scanning stuff, which is something you do a lot. So yeah, I think if I had to guess, it's probably between like a little under 20 to finish it, maybe 25 to really get all the items and do everything. Yeah.
And is that comparable to other Metroid games, or is it longer? Or okay,
it feels because Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3 are pretty much the same length. They all also have like the backtracking stuff, but they're not too different. And this one feels like right smack in the middle of all three of them, lengthwise and scale wise as well. Strangely, because this one has like the field in the middle, but yeah, it's length is the same as in the other Metroid Primes, and it's perfect as well. I didn't want it to be any longer than this, and it also didn't feel like too short.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, and the thing is, because the longer I kept playing it, the more I was like, dude, whatever they tried to sell us, with the Mackenzie, with the motor, with like the desert, I'm like, this is such a true sequel to what Metroid Prime is. Because once you get into those areas, man, you're scanning everything. The way you fight, the way the controls work. You can use the mouse, by the way. I tried for like 5 minutes. I'm like,
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, it works perfectly, but okay. I kind of liked it more. I don't know how to use it when I'm like lying down on the couch or anything. I just want to have a controller. Yeah, but it works pretty much the same as the other Metroid Primes with the Z targeting. And like I said, the more I kept playing it, the more I'm like, oh, this is Metroid Prime as it always was.
Yeah.
And, one had the feeling of solitude, and 3 tried to bring in like more the NPCs and a bigger world, try to like scale the lore up in the hopes of selling more. But really it's so much more of a typical traditional Metroid Prime game than I would have thought. Like looking at the marketing and everything, and looking at development, which took like years and years. Been a long way. I think the first announcement was 2017. But it's a Metroid Prime game, man, and that's really the best thing I can say about it. And for people who don't play Metroid Prime, there's one thing you can't run in this game,
right?
And that doesn't seem like a big deal, but this game wants you to. It's not a first-person shooter. It wants you to explore. It wants you to scan things, sometimes in excess, because you have like to scan the button of an elevator before you can actually step onto the elevator. So that's a bit much at times. But this game is like really deliberate in its pacing. It doesn't want to rush you to the environments or whatever. And the fact that you can't run really says everything you need to know about how this game was developed and how the developers thought about this game and about its players playing it and their feeling of slowly but surely like looking at every nook and cranny and discovering its secrets, and that's kind of exemplary for what this series is, man. And yeah, Prime 4 pulls it off.
Yeah, I guess just with the quality, I guess, of the exploration and the puzzles and all that kind of stuff like that, do you feel like it was pretty high?
It's definitely not the best in the series. I put maybe, I'm not the biggest fan of 2 and 3 as well.
Okay.
So all 3 of them, like everything after 1, for me, I'm pretty sure I'm going to look back at 2, 3, and this one, and kind of put them on the same level. But I will say, once you like go, when you play a Metroid game, you go back, get all the items, like 100% everything. And then you're gonna find out there's like the last like 10%, the ones that are hard to find. They really, really did a good job giving a lot of items, like something extra. You run into an extra boss, like in one of those desert temples. That's something special, or you go back to an area that is completely changed. Like after you finished it in the main story, so there's no reason to go back. Only completionists will go back there, and then the area's changed in all kind of cool ways. And you have your new items and your new powers that you can use to find those lost items, those lost percentages, and that's where they really went. It really went crazy with thinking of cool stuff instead of, okay, blow up this wall, there's an
Right.
item behind it. Yeah. So definitely, and that's why I'm so glad Retro picked it up again, because they know their shit, man, and they prove it here again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For people, I guess, it's been a long time, like you said, between this and 3, and I guess the older Prime games. We did get Prime 1 remastered. Do you think this is a decent spot for newcomers of the franchise to hop in? Will they feel lost from the story?
No more lost than me. I mean, I have no idea what's going on, man. There's Silex is supposed to be like the dude, and the trailers and everything showed him like being the big bad guy. I'm like, dude, who the fuck is this? I don't even remember. It's been so long. He never really made an impression. You can definitely start with this game. It's possible. There's a continuation. There's a lore, but nothing too big or something to worry about too much. But I'd recommend everyone really liking Prime or liking what they're seeing and not being sure if it's a game for them. Start with 1, because that remaster looks almost as great. And the music is and the music here is excellent, by the way, as well. It's insanely good. But Prime, man, everything about that game is special. They really buffed it up for Switch players. So I definitely recommend just playing the remaster. And if you like that, then jump into 4. You can skip 2 and 3 because they're not playable decently on modern hardware. Yeah.
Well, I'm so relieved to hear you talk about the game. Like, after the stuff we saw with Mackenzie and all that kind of stuff, I was a little nervous, but I was like, well, it's probably just the beginning of the game. I don't expect them to do this whole thing. Like, Retro knows Metroid and they understand that. And of course, Metroid, a big part of it, like you're saying, is the isolation, the exploration, the atmosphere. And they've kind of changed it up from what we see in the trailers. And I don't have a problem with that. I'm fine with games evolving and stuff like that, or the series, but I am relieved to hear that there's still that core DNA in there and it's done really well. So thank you for relieving that stress from me there.
For sure,
I was like,
man.
please don't. I hope this game doesn't suck. It's been so long. That was my worry.
At the same thing, and not even is, like I said, you leave the dude at base camp after like 15 minutes, and like sometimes you have to get back to him, or he's really rarely in your on your comms. But even then, like the weird ass cheap Ryan Reynolds knockoff tone, that goes away as well. Like his lines, well, they're not going to win any prizes, but it's not as cringy later on in the game when he's just a dude like the other dudes. So it definitely not too bad. But yeah, I share your favorite, because what's you're a Metroid Prime big fan as well?
Oh yeah, I mean I've been playing Metroid since the SNES days.
Oh,
so
nice, man.
I've been around with Metroid for a while, through the ups and downs. So
yeah,
I'm
really look forward to this one for sure, man. It's probably not gonna be the best in the series for you or anyone, but I think like Prime players, we're just happy we're getting some Prime, man. Every IP of Nintendo, or at least like the Donkey Kong, the Zeldas, the Marios, and even Fire Emblem, which I love. So please don't stop that. But I'm just glad we're getting some Prime, and happy to be playing, and happy it doesn't suck. So that's really the main takeaway for everyone who loves the series.
Great, sounds wonderful. All right, Lockmort, let's talk, man. Half-Life 2. You just played through, and both episodes, right?
Yes, that is correct.
All right. First of all, what spurred this in your mind? What made you be like, I got to play Half-Life? Was it the Half-Life 3 rumors?
Yeah, everyone's been. I've been saying for years, this is the year that Half-Life 3 is getting reviewed, and I've always been wrong. But for some reason, this year, everyone's on the same wagon here, and everyone is expecting Half-Life 3 to release, partially because of the Steam machines that are supposed to release early next year. We'll see. So it is for the first time ever, really, it is an actual possibility that it's real now. So I'm very nervous, but I'm also very excited. So I figured, well...
Let me stop you right there. Let's get into this real quick. From Infinite Goonfair. Hello, Luscious Locks Vance B, or Luscious Locks Vance, B-Man, and Simon Zeph Freeman. This one goes out to Locke and his playing of Half-Life 2 this week. How goes the playthrough? And is this just your way of hoping through the possibility of Half-Life 3 being announced sometime soon? as Valve blue balls us for another year. Anyways, I'll hang up and listen as I chill in the void with G-Man looking for his G-spot. Good Lord. So
it is kind of hopium, I guess. Yeah, because you never know with Valve. Like, they can drop so many hints and then it just won't happen. So we won't know. But I think if it's ever going to happen, it'll be now. Now seems like the perfect moment to do it. So if it doesn't happen now, it'll be another decade or 2 decades or whatever they're doing. So I figured this time. So I feel like you said, I figured this would be the perfect time to finally go back to 2. Because I never did. I played 2 and the episodes when they launched in, I think 2 is from 2004, which is a very long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, for us, I think, Simon, you're about our age. Like, you're close to 40, I presume.
Just turned 41.
Oh, yeah. Well, perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. So for us, those are like the Half-Life 2 is like a game we all played, I imagine, when it came out, right? Mm-hmm. And back then, Half-Life 2 was the shit. Like, that was the perfect game. It was like the 10 out of 10 for every game that would ever release. And Half-Life 2 basically picks up 20 years after Half-Life 1, which is a very long time. Games didn't used to do that back then. Sequels would just follow and wouldn't really be a continuous story. But Half-Life 2 picks up 20 years after Half-Life 1. I don't want to give anything away from the plot of Half-Life 1 because people might want to replay it at this point.
Sure.
But you play as Gordon Freeman. There's an incident that happens at Black Mesa. A whole bunch of stuff goes on with aliens, and boom, you solve the problem, and now we're 20 years later, right? You wake up, or you get woken up by the G-Man. The G-Man is basically like a government agent, or so you think. It's like a weird man in a suit. He wakes you up, he puts you on a train, and that's basically the start of Half-Life. So when you start the game, whether you're new or not, you're like, what the hell is going on here? What's happening? You get to City 17, and it turns out that the whole planet, the whole Earth, is taken over by an alien empire, and they're running the place like a totalitarian regime. Much like World War II, basically. So you have soldiers everywhere, which are like the Combine. People are being oppressed. There's a resistance. So the vibes immediately are very downtrodden. It's very bleak. It's very grim. But you arrive in City 17. You don't really know what you're doing there. But soon after you arrive, you get rescued by one of the characters from Half-Life 1, Blue Shift, or from one of the characters from one of the expansions of Half-Life 1, one of the guards named Barney. And Barney takes you to Alex. And Alex is another character who later also got her own game, as you might remember. And then Alex takes you to another character called Dr. Klein. And at that point, you're probably completely lost, but that's where the game starts. Because Dr. Klein tries to teleport you to yet another doctor. And that's where the game starts, because the teleport goes wrong, and you basically land into the outskirts of City 17, and you have to find your way back to Alex and her dad, Dr. Eli. That's basically Half-Life 2 without giving away any spoilers. But there are 3 things that makes this game extremely special. And the first one is the enemy AI. Now, it's been 20 years, so we've all played a lot of games since then. Enemy AI has evolved tremendously over the years. But what was very surprising to me when I played Half-Life 2 again was that the enemy AI here is absolutely tremendous. It's magnificent. To give you an example, at the start of the game, the teleport goes wrong. You land in the outskirts of the city. You get like this weird little boat, which you have to use to get around. And then later you get a buggy too. But that makes it so that the areas are more open. Like, you can see enemies in the distance. You can see stuff going on in the distance. And at some point, I saw this weird little cottage in the distance. So I drove up there with my buggy. And when I got into the house, there were 2 enemy Combine soldiers there. And when they shoot you, you lose a lot of health. So, of course, I managed to kill them. And then I went up into the attic of the house. And when I looked outside, I saw more enemy soldiers in the distance. And in most games, that would be it. Like, you would be able to sneak or snipe or whatever. But those enemy soldiers in the distance saw me because they heard me break the window. So they saw me from all the way in the distance. I saw them run over. I heard them break the door down inside. I heard them go up the stairs to where they last saw me, surround the house with more enemies. So the enemy AI really knows where you are and tries to lock in on you, and they try to flank you and try to trap you basically where you are. They also throw grenades, like they throw all the weapons at their disposal, which is, I know it sounds silly, especially these days, but I don't see a lot of games doing that anymore, which is insane, really, because enemy AI should have been evolving.
Yeah, I think about that sometimes a lot with enemy AI, and I'm like, they could probably make it way more realistic, I should say, or more tactical, but I wonder if they like test it out and it's too advanced for a lot of players to deal with. That's the only thing I can think of, I guess.
Well, that makes perfect sense because the game was actually hard, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Like, I died so many times, but in a good way. It was never like, oh, the game fucked me over here. No, it was always my fault because I didn't pay attention to an enemy in cover, or I didn't pay attention to the one flagging me. It's not as advanced as it was in Fear. You remember Fear, which came out?
Dude, I love Fear 1.
Yeah. Jesus, yeah.
Came out a year or 2 years later. So it's not as advanced as in Fear, but it's amazing. The enemy AI here is fantastic. I couldn't get enough of it. The second thing that made Half-Life 2 so special was the level design. Mm-hmm. It's basically one continuous story. So you basically follow one continuous journey throughout this terrain. And every level connects to the other one, kind of like Dark Souls. You can't really go back like in Dark Souls, of course, but it all connects to each other. It all makes sense. And the levels here are so diverse. You go from like facilities to huge open areas. There's this little town called Ravenholm, which is probably my favorite level of all time, where there's this little town and it's been taken over. They're not really zombies. They're like alien head crabs that jump onto people and turn them into sort of zombies. So there's this little town that's being run over by these head crab zombies. And there's this priest with a sniper rifle who's trying to guide you where to go or how to escape these things. And you can put them on fire. You can drop cars on them. You have to get away from them, basically. It's amazing. That level is freaking amazing. And again, it's 20 years old. You sneak around them. You have to shoot them in the head, of course, but you run out of bullets, so you have to run. It basically turns this game a little bit into a survival game at that point, which is so cool because it takes place roughly around the middle of the game. So you never feel overpowered. The game constantly throws new shit at you, even in its level design. And then the third thing that made Half-Life 2 so incredibly special are the physics.
I was going to ask you about the gravity gun.
Of course, that's where we're going.
Best gun in an FPS ever. Man.
Yes, exactly. Glad you said it. Yeah. It's built on a source engine, and this engine basically gives you the opportunity to interact with almost every object you see. So you see a trash can, you can pick it up. It starts right away when you get off the train at the beginning of the game, the classic scene. There's a can on the floor, and one of the Combine soldiers tells you, pick up the can, throw it in the trash can. So you pick up the can, and you can actually throw it in the trash can, or you can throw it at the soldier, because again, the physics are not limited to what it can do. You decide what to do with these objects. So you can actually throw it at the soldier. He gets pissed off. He knocks you out. But like you guys said, the gravity gun in this game is the best weapon of all time. Because what the gravity gun does is you have this big lump of a machine in your hand, and it can pick up any object in the game, or most smaller objects, I should say, and it can launch them back at the enemy. So, for instance, in the level Ravenholm, you have these weird little saw blades that they use to cut trees. And you can pick them up and you can just shoot them at enemies, and which cuts them in half. Or you can lift up a barrel. Of course, the whole game is filled with those red barrels that you saw in every game back then that explode if you throw them. But you can pick up one of those barrels with the gravity gun, throw it into a group of enemies, and they all explode. It's amazing. Yeah. It's something. Remember the game Painkiller? Not the new one that just came out, but I think 15, 20 years ago, there was another game called Painkiller. And I remember in Painkiller, you had these stakes. You had the stake gun, and you could shoot it, and it would basically pin enemies to the ceiling, or to the walls, or to the ceiling, or to the levels. And you can basically do that here too, which is so much fun. It's such a stupid, silly mechanic, but it's so much fun because you are in control. The player is always in control.
Yeah,
Painkiller had a remaster this year, right? if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, or a remaster, or they made a new one. Wasn't it a remake or something? There was something new.
I'm not sure. I thought it was a remaster. It could be a new one as well. But I remember that Perfect Dark on 360 had that gun as well. Just pinning people, ragdolls against the wall. That's never gonna get old, man.
Exactly. So the enemy also has like turrets set up everywhere. So you can even pick up turrets and just use them against the enemy. You can basically use their own weapons against them, which is so awesome. At certain points in the game, you also get squads under your control. So if this wasn't enough, you also get your own squads that you can command. They're basically stupid cannon fodder. Your squad doesn't have any personality, but you can just send them out to attack enemies. And the enemies are, well, they're not really humans. They're humans under alien control. But there are also aliens who have their little crab creatures that we already talked about that would just jump up on you. But you also have ant lions, which are these big insects that would just chase you and like try to hack you to bits. We've all played Arc Raiders. I'm pretty sure that the people who made Arc Raiders played a lot of Half-Life 2 because the city scanners are basically the wasps in Arc Raiders. You have the manhacks, these little robots that chase you around and try to hack you up. There's also bigger enemies like gunships or striders, or it's just there's so much variety. Every time in this game where you think I've seen it all, something happens that propels you to a new environment, new enemies, new mechanics, new physics. It's perfect. It's one of those games that has a perfect, fantastic pace, and it left me super impressed. I knew I loved this game back in the day, and back in the day, of course, we all were like, "Oh, this is the best game ever." But I do actually think, after replaying it again now, that this might be the best game ever. Even after all these years, like nothing, not even I can't think of a single first-person shooter that comes even close to this one. Sure. It's so innovative in everything that it does. Even its story, even though it doesn't make sense at first and it's a little bit weird, it all comes together greatly. You have characters that you actually feel for, especially in the episodes that follow the main game.
Yeah,
it's great. Great pace, great length, fantastic. If you haven't played Half-Life 2, even if they don't announce Half-Life 3 next week, go play Half-Life 2. Go play Black Mesa 2, which is the remake or a sort of reinterpretation of the first one. Go play those games. They're so amazing, and they hold up so incredibly well. It's amazing 20 years later.
Yeah, Half-Life. I played Half-Life 2 after both the episodes were out. And even at that time, I was still extremely impressed with the game. Yeah. One of the big things I remember at the time, like you were saying, was the physics and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But something I also remember being pretty revolutionary at the time, I guess, was the fact that when NPCs were talking to you, it wasn't like a cutscene, like you could just move around freely. And like that seems like such a small thing now, but I remember at the time I was like, whoa, I can just move around when they're talking to me, like it's in real time kind of thing. It's not a cutscene. Very interesting. And I agree with you, Locke. I think it's kind of, if you're into video games at all, I think you should definitely check it out. You kind of owe it to yourself. It's one of those tentpole games I feel like that is just so good and sounds like it holds up still really well.
Yeah.
So it's a must play in my opinion. Even if you don't play the first game, at least play Half-Life 2. It's that damn good.
Well, if you don't want to play the first game, because I get it, the first game is a little bit archaic. It's a little bit hard to get into. But a couple of years ago, fans made I don't want to call it a remake because they did change a couple of things. So it's more like a reimagination, but it follows the original quite literally, quite perfectly.
Yeah, isn't it like Valve kind of endorses it or whatever, or like put their stamp of approval on it? That's pretty cool.
They did. It's called Black Mesa. It's on Steam. It goes on sale every other day. Equally amazing. It's of course not as amazing as Half-Life 2 because it lacks the gravity gun and a couple of other things, but the story there is amazing. Physics there are amazing. The gameplay, the level design, everything is still intact there too. So if you have the time, play Black Mesa, then go to Half-Life 2, and then the 2 episodes. You have a great time.
Let's talk about episode 1 and 2. One thing I guess is interesting, Locke, is it just at the time these came out, the idea of like episodes, I should say, for games in general, like DLC after the game was kind of uncommon that I can recall off the top of my head. I can't think of many examples besides this around then.
Yeah.
But I remember they're fucking awesome. They're really good. What's kind of like the differences between 1 and 2 or episode 1, 2?
I would say that the first one is more rigid and more on rails, I would say. And the second one is more open.
That's where you get like the buggy, right? More so? Is that where you're driving around a lot more?
Yeah. Also in the main game, but yeah, in the second one too. And the second one also features more story elements, I would say. The first one also has story elements, but you kind of know what you're getting into. The second one is the one that really wowed people. It also ends on a huge cliffhanger.
One of the biggest cliffhangers in gaming, for sure.
Yeah. I remember, because I don't really know. I think the second one came out a couple of years later. I want to say 2007, maybe 2006, something like that. I remember I was in college and I played the second one. Both of them are around 8 to 10 hours. And I remember playing the second one and thinking, I can't wait until we get the next one next year.
Everyone I knew was so pumped for episode 3. And it just never happened, man. The meme. Yeah.
Well, we got Alex.
We did get Alex,
But
why isn't Alex? Why didn't they just? Because I played Alex, and I'm kind of feeling like a fraud. I played some Half-Life here and there, finished 2, checked out the Black Mesa like remaster, which was great, and episode 1 and 2 as well. But never, I don't know a lot about those games anymore. But I remember Half-Life for me as more of an outsider was always like, once they develop something that's like next level, could be like the Source Engine or the Source Engine 2. They use like Half-Life, like, okay, we're gonna go to the next level, and Half-Life is the one like introducing it.
Yeah.
And they did exactly that with Half-Life Alyx, like for VR. So for me, it was like, oh man, this could be a perfect match for Half-Life 3, because you expect Half-Life to do something that no one's ever seen before, because they did with 1 and 2. And then with this one, I was like, oh man, that was such a shoe-in to turn Alex into Half-Life 3. But you probably have a very good reason and are going to tell me now why they didn't.
No, I actually fully agree with you. I also think Alex should have been Half-Life, or should have been titled Half-Life 3, because it is. It is basically Half-Life 3. It's a direct sequel. It leads into what will eventually be Half-Life 3 again. It ends on another cliffhanger. I think the only reason they didn't do that is because not enough people have access to VR.
Yeah,
I think if they called it Half-Life 3, a lot of people would be pissed off because they wouldn't be able to play it.
But on the other hand, I feel like Valve, being the company, to not give a damn, because they're like, we're Valve, this is our Half-Life 3.
Yeah,
because they can do whatever they want.
There's a good chance they'll do that now, because with the Steam machines, there's also this new VR unit, right? That they're launching.
Steam Frame.
Yeah. So I wouldn't put it past them to launch Half-Life 3 on that thing, and then tell people like it's also playable on your normal machine, but the intention is to play it in VR. Yeah. That wouldn't surprise me. And like you said, they usually launch these things when there's something big new coming up, right? And I think we're at that point maybe with that AI can maybe play a role in it. Not in the way that we think traditionally right now, that AI makes the game or something, not in that way. But I think maybe an enemy AI or player AI or how you interact with the game, maybe they found like a new way for the player to do that. Which would be amazing. But I would also be happy if it was just on my monitor and I could just play it.
Just a regular old shooter with a cliffhanger at the end.
Yeah,
and that would be something if they end Half-Life 3 on a cliffhanger again, which they will, probably.
Yeah. But plenty of people have said that it's always the same with these leaks, right? Because this has been said over the years so many times, but this time there's more credible people that have said like, yeah, it's real. I've heard it's real. It's playable from start to finish. So we'll see. If we don't see it next week at the Game Awards, then we'll probably never see it. But
you expect them to drop a Game Awards?
I normally I wouldn't, but people have been so adamant.
Don't
that
get
it's
worked up again, Locke. Not again, man.
It has to happen. Normally, I'm with you, Simon. Normally, I'm absolutely with you. Like they don't need the Game Awards. They're like Rockstar, right?
They're like Rockstar.
They don't need the Game Awards, but they're such. I don't know. The people have been hyping me up everywhere constantly and been telling me like, no, it's gonna be there this time. This time you'll get your way. So.
But just stay hyped, man. Don't wait for the Game Awards. Just stay hyped till the Steam machine's out. If it's not there in shops or wherever you buy, then it's not coming for another 30 years. But
then I won't be alive anymore probably. But I hope it's true. Even if it's not at the Game Awards, I hope it's. anything Half-Life would be cool. Even if it's just another spin-off or whatever, just do something with it. The ideal thing, of course, would be the orange box too, because
the most insane thing you could probably come up with.
If they somehow
crazy.
They somehow release Left 4 Dead 3, Portal 3, and Half-Life 3, the world would cease to exist.
That would just give me a 3 in general. One of your games, give me a 3.
I'm really glad to see you keeping your expectations in check.
Yeah.
just Left 4 Dead 3, Portal 3, and Half-Life 3, please.
Yeah, no big deal.
In one package, and announce it at the Game Awards next week. Thank you.
Yeah.
No big deal. Yeah. 5 games, 1 box. Bring it back.
It's not in the realm of impossibility because they did it before.
No, it's not. It's not. Yeah, you're right.
But you're probably not. Though.
It's not happening, Locke. Get real, dude. They've been testing Deadlock for like a year.
Dude, I can see it happening that they just released Deadlock with the Steam machines and then all those leakers were wrong and I'll eat shit again. But we'll see.
I still can't get over the fact that they bought those. What was it? Campo Santo.
Oh,
those guys.
Yeah.
And they were making that awesome.
Guys.
Yeah, and they were making that awesome like desert game, and they got bought by Valve and never made anything again that I know of.
Yeah, no, that's true. Well, maybe we'll find out.
I heard they're working on the orange box too.
Yeah.
See?
Orange box too. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to our next game, which is what I've been playing a little bit of, which is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Listeners, you know I'm a big Zelda guy. But Simon, I want to know, are you into Zelda at all?
Yeah, for sure. Ocarina of Time. I actually grew up on Zelda 2.
Okay, on NES,
Which is, everyone seems to hate Zelda 2, but that was like my game growing up, man.
Sure, yeah.
Zelda for me was, we're going from left to right, and there's this world map, and all these castles, and this boss is a horse, and RPG mechanics, and then turned out there was like a one-off thing in the series, but I have a soft spot for that game. But yeah, Ocarina of Time, it's in my if you want to mention Prime, if you want to mention Half-Life 2, Ocarina of Time is another pillar of gaming history, man.
Of course.
It's absolutely perfect. Majora's Mask as well. And then after Ocarina, Majora's Mask, I'm kind of like okay with the series. I dig Twilight, I dig Skyward Sword. I never hated a Zelda game. Kind of liked them in every which way they came. And Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom were extra special. So they really picked up. I really perfectly understand everyone who grew up on Zelda, not like in these games because they like feel different. I was talking about how Metroid Prime 4 still feels, besides everything, feels like a Metroid Prime game. And I kind of don't get that vibe anymore with Tears and Breath of the Wild, but I really, really like them. So yeah, off and on, but man, the old school, the traditional Zeldas with the dungeons, that was definitely my shit. Yeah, love that.
Yeah, it's interesting. For me, I grew up with Zelda 1 on NES, so the newer games like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, while I have problems with them, they remind me of Zelda 1 a lot.
Oh yeah, I see that, yeah.
All the exploration, kind of freedom, and going in whatever order you want. So I respect the aspect of those things, but I do miss the traditional kind of classic dungeons because they were so good before. But Skyward Sword is the Zelda before Breath of the Wild. This was the last one on Wii. This was kind of an interesting period for Zelda because it seemed like it was at an all-time low, I should say, for 3D Zeldas. A lot of the motion controls turned people off. The Wii at the end of its life cycle was just kind of losing momentum. So I think it sold fairly poorly compared to some other Zeldas as well at the time. So I was like, oh no, not Zelda going down. Like, what am I going to do if this happens? But I think like a year or two ago, we got a HD remaster of this game, and it definitely needed it because it was on Wii, and of course it was like 1480p and looked crunchy and had the Wiimote, the Wii Motion Plus Wiimote. You had to use that kind of thing in there. But for Switch, they added a couple new features. One being you can use a controller now if you want. You control the sword with a analog stick instead of swinging around now. You do like that. But they still have the motion controls in there with the Joy-Cons, and they work much better than the Wiimote back in the day. First of all, you don't have a sensor, so that helps a lot, and you don't have to recalibrate it as much. But I've always enjoyed this game. It's not one of my favorite 3D Zelda games, but there's things I like about the game. I think it has some pretty damn cool dungeons in the game, which I'll get into in a little bit. And I always find it very interesting that it is the very first in the Zelda timeline. And the Zelda timeline is a meme at this point. I mean, it has been forever. So no one really gives a shit about Zelda's story, but I do, damn it. So I get invested in these things, but I know
it's weirdly one of maybe 3 things I remember about Zelda. Like, oh yeah, that's the start, man.
Yeah. It was the start of the whole timeline. But yeah, Skyward Sword takes a lot of risks for the series, which I really respect. I always appreciate when a game tries to take risks. Even it doesn't always work out. Like Metroid Other M is a great example of a lot of stuff not working out and taking risks, in my opinion. But Skyward Sword takes some risks, and I think it's kind of cool here. Like, the game is all motion controls, but like I said, you can play it without the sticks or with sticks on your controller. But this game is like, creator's intent, man, was with motion controls. And I think it's kind of fun. I get why people don't like it. And I'm not saying I want future Zeldas to be like this at all, because I don't. But I think for what the game is, I think it's pretty fun, actually. It works pretty well. Like, swinging your sword around is kind of sick sometimes, especially with like when enemies are designed around this. Like, Locke, you saw me playing a little bit when I was fighting Astolfos, which is that skeleton guy, and he would hold up his weapons in like different directions, so you'd have to like swing in certain areas to get through them. I'm like, oh, this is just like really classic Nintendo game design that I just love so much, and they kind of incorporate that always into their franchises with like Mario and Zelda. So I was happy to see it here. The game looks really nice compared to the Wii version, the Wii version. It looks so much better. The game has a really nice like watercolor aesthetic, I would say, for the backgrounds particularly, and they look so much better here. It's like crazy how much of an upgrade this game is compared to the original visually, and it runs at 60 frames per second, which is very nice, especially for a game where you're using motion controls. So huge upgrade there. The game takes place in the sky, or it starts in the sky at your town called Skyloft, and it's cool because I think this is a controversial thing in the sense that some Zelda games have long intros, and I know that annoys a lot of people. Like, you think of the modern Zelda games, and you kind of just get dumped out in the field, which is totally cool, and I love that kind of shit, you know? You think of Breath of the Wild, you wake up, you walk outside in the world, and it's like, all right, go have fun kind of thing like that. These games are much more linear in what you go through in the progression, but they really take the time for you get to know, like, the town, the settlement you're at, which is Skyloft, and getting to know the citizens and Link's life there as being a student at the Knight Academy, and kind of the origins of the green tunic that he is so well known for, and him getting this outfit, and like why the heroes later on the future timeline wear that same outfit, which is really sick. So I really appreciate that. And you get a lot of time with Zelda and Link actually as characters together, which is kind of unusual for the series. So I've enjoyed that a lot. But it's a really interesting game that it's super weird. Like, when you think of Zelda games, like when you think of Ocarina of Time and stuff like that, it's like, okay, you remember Hyrule Field, then you can go to like Hyrule Castle and like Lake Hylia and all that kind of stuff. And they're all fairly like decently sized areas, especially for the time on the hardware. But what's weird about this game is like all these areas you go to, you have to drop down to the sky, and they're like all three separate zones. You have like a woods area, a desert area, and a volcano. And these areas are all almost mini dungeons to me, where it's like you were in this very specific area. They're all kind of cramped isn't the right word, but they're all kind of like more linear in the sense that like you go from point A to point B and make your way through the map. You're not just walking around a huge open area necessarily like you are in Breath of the Wild, but you're doing these little tasks here to help people out. Like, one thing is, a big part of the game is it seems to like, of course you have to use motion controls because it's a motion control game. You have to hold up your sword and like locate certain guys. So you're always doing something to help people out in the world. And there's platforming challenges. There's enemies to fight, of course, like that. And they go all in on the motion controls, which I respect. And like everything you do, you use it kind of like there's tightrope parts where you're walking on the tightrope. So you're holding up the thing like your Wiimote, and you're trying to balance it side by side and trying to get it just right. And you can like shake it down like this to knock a guy off on the other end. So I really appreciate all that fun, goofy stuff. So it really goes in on the motion controls, and I appreciate that, because if you're going to go for something, you got to go all in. Not like Twilight Princess, which was a GameCube port, and they kind of just tacked on motion controls in that game compared to this. It's like way more sophisticated compared to that. Like Twilight Princess, you know, you kind of just hold up your Wiimote and you go like, maybe that's it. And that's like about as much as motion controls you get in the game. This one is much more precise, and I really respect that about the game, but it's definitely not for everybody. But yeah, the dungeons are pretty solid so far. I've done 3. I think there's 7 in the game. I want to say, if I remember correctly. I think they're better than a lot of other games like Majora's Mask dungeons. I don't think they're very good. I love Majora's Mask, but I don't think the dungeons are very good in that game. I think they're better than Wind Waker as well. So they're pretty decent overall. They get really cool later on, especially. There's like one where you're on like a pirate ship and there's like a time mechanic where you hit a certain item and it'll like put up an area of effect kind of thing that puts into a different time period. So it'll like go back to the past where everything's like clean and pristine again, and it balances puzzles and all that kind of stuff. It's really creative, the kind of stuff they do like that later on in the dungeons. And that's one thing I really like about the game. I think the dungeons are really solid, especially because after this game, we go to the Breath of the Wild kind of formula where I'm not a huge fan of those dungeon designs. So this was kind of like the last hurrah of that era of Zelda. I hope they go back to these like dungeons, like where they feel like events. Like these dungeons feel like kind of multi-hour tasks where that are like huge undertakes, and they are presented big in the newer games, but they're just kind of smaller and shorter than I always want them to be. They don't feel like as much of a mainstay, but here they're just like a really big deal. And when I was playing through some of the game last night, and there's some areas you go through that reminded me of almost like shrine prototypes that we would see later on in the games, like Breath of the Wild, but it's just like these little areas you go to, and they have like these little puzzles and like an endpoint, you get an item like that. And it reminded me a lot of a shrine, but just way less sophisticated. Of course, there's not any like the crazy physics like Breath of the Wild has, but I was like, oh, I could see where they're kind of going with that, which I thought was really fun and interesting for me. But yeah, there's also a big focus on story here, and Zelda has done that more over the years, and I haven't been super keen on how it's done in the newer games because it's more non-linear, and I think that's fine, but for some of it just feels it doesn't work so well here. But they really tried on the story here to make it really focused, and of course being the first Zelda game in the timeline and kind of fleshing all that stuff out, and I've really appreciated how much they tried to give into the story here. There's no voice acting in the game though, and if you guys remember at the time this game came out, it was pretty controversial because, you know, it's 2011. It's like we're still not doing voice acting here. And I think it does like the classic Zelda thing of like voices from all the characters, but like they're not actually saying anything. They just do sounds occasionally, but I still think it's really rad. Like the villain in this game, I think is one of my favorite Zelda villains ever. Girahim, he is so rad. I love this guy. His presence, he is a badass villain. He reminds me of like David Bowie in Zelda. That's what I think of him as, like a David Bowie in a Zelda. Like a Zelda villain is David Bowie, yeah.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to look him up. I've completely forgot this guy.
But I just finished the third temple last night, so I'm getting to the part where it's going to start ramping up and getting really good for dungeon-wise. But some shortcomings in the game, I feel like, is like the overall, like there is a sky part where you can fly around in your little bird like that. There's just not a whole lot to do out there. It's kind of boring. It looks cool, but it's just kind of empty, and it needs a little more going on in there. But of course, they address that later on. But so far, I'm enjoying the game. Once again, it has a lot of fun gimmicks, and I'm into that for the Zelda game. I don't want it for every Zelda game, but here I think it's fun and it works well enough. And the remaster is just really good. I think if anyone listening out there, if you haven't played this game, you should give it a shot. I think you should absolutely try it with motion controls first, the way it was designed. But if you don't like it, you got other options there. But I think it's a cool game. It's definitely not one of like my top Zelda games, but it's a solid Zelda game that I think gets a little too much flack sometimes. But I am remembering now, as you get further in the game, it does get padded big time later on. They really you like return to a lot of areas and do kind of like annoying little tasks, I should say. So I'm going to see how I feel about it again when I get there. But so far, Zelda, I'm having a great time. Zelda games are always really fun for me around the holidays. So it's been very cozy revisiting this game. I look forward to playing more.
Cool. Funny, most of or a lot of the things you say could apply to Metroid 4 as well.
Yeah, Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
the open world with not much to do. Also the petting, which is a Prime thing,
Mhm.
which 4 does as well. Do you feel like there's, I don't know, man. When I look back at that Zelda era, which for me is kind of
Yeah.
like Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, and this one, and then I look at what we got now, I feel like there's like a missing link between like those 3 games
Sure.
and the last 2 we got. Like some game somewhere, something went wrong and we never got it or never saw it.
Yeah, I bet Breath of the Wild was such like a weird, I guess not weird, but it's such a huge departure from what we had before. Yeah, it definitely felt like there could have been something there in the middle. I was saying, I was seeing little tiny fragments of Breath of the Wild here, very tiny, but not nearly what we got right here. And I am curious what caused that huge separation. Maybe just the lack of sales, or maybe lack of interest in the franchise as a whole for a lot of people. But whatever they did,
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I love it. I love
yeah.
the fact that all the risk they took and Breath of the Wild came out of it. But it feels almost like unreal, especially for Nintendo.
Yeah. It's a weird,
and a franchise
weird
like
game.
Zelda, which is always sort of a remake of itself.
Yeah, it's a weird game, that's for sure. Locke, you saw me play a little bit of the game. Of course, you haven't played it, but what did you think about what you saw?
Well, I did play it.
You did? Okay.
Well, no, yes. Well, I remember it, when did it come out? 2011?
Yeah, originally. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember I bought a Wii for it. And as soon as I got home, so I bought a Wii specifically for Skyward Sword, because I think IGN gave it a 10, a 9 or a 10. So I thought, okay, this is just, it was around the time of Skyrim, if I remember correctly, and I loved Skyrim. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, I'm getting a Wii. I'm getting into Nintendo games now. So I bought a Wii with Skyward Sword. I got home, I installed it, and as soon as I saw the motions, or as soon as I had to use the motion controls, I was like, nope. Bye, Wii. Brought it back to the store and never touched it again. But it looks really cool.
You seriously brought the console back?
Yeah,
to the store?
I got a 3DS instead then. But no, what I saw you play was really cool, Brad. I didn't grow up with Zelda. I had like the Zelda on the Game Boy. Which one was that called again?
Link's Awakening.
Yes. So that's the one I played all the way back in the day. And then this year, I played Ocarina of Time for the first time.
Yeah.
Thanks to you, Brad.
Wow.
Which you guys are absolutely right. I would say the same thing about Ocarina of Time that I said about Half-Life 2. It's one of those perfect games. One of those seminal games that everybody has to play. And I only got to it this year, which really got me into the mindset of, okay, I have to play them all now. So I'm waiting for Wind Waker, I think, to get to 60 FPS at some point, and then I'll play that one, of course. I played a little bit of Breath of the Wild, and I played Tears of the Kingdom, but they don't hit as hard for me as they do for you guys, because you guys have all that history and renaissance with the genre or with the games. So I want to play all the Zelda games, and then I want to go back to either Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild, or both.
Now that they're 4K and 60 FPS too, will help a lot revisiting them.
Exactly.
What about
when I saw you,
Majora's Mask, though? You said you wanted to play Wind Waker. Majora's Mask is after Ocarina of Time.
I know. My reasoning for that was because I played Ocarina of Time and I completed it, but now it's been that was in May, I think, so a pretty long time ago. I figured I wouldn't enjoy Majora's Mask if I went into it right away after just completing Ocarina of Time. So I figured I would do Wind Waker first and then go back to Majora's Mask, but at this point it's been so long that it doesn't really matter.
and Majora is so wildly different.
Yeah, it is.
And
really?
That game, like you said, Brad, it doesn't have the best dungeons or whatever, but the mechanic it's built around. And if you don't know what it is, like, I'm not gonna give it away now. You should just jump into it. But it's wildly different from Ocarina, but also the style and I don't know, man. It's so dark and weird and nightmarish, and I got a lot of great memories playing that game, especially during the winter months. I don't know, man. It just kind of fits. It's just such a December game, winter game.
It's very bizarre. It's like Alice in Wonderland for Ocarina of Time.
Oh man, that's a good one. Yeah, for
really?
Sure.
It's just like very bizarre, strange, foreign land you're kind of in, with a bunch of like weird rules that you're not used to in this game or in this series. It's really cool, man. It's really awesome. It's a fascinating game, and they made it really fast too, but it's excellent.
Okay. I'll do it this month then. It sounds like it's a
shit,
perfect
yeah.
December. The
Yeah.
December
Oh
game.
man, I might join you.
Yeah.
I might join you, man. It's been so long, but that game, I don't know, man. And I can see people playing it back then, not loving it or it being different than they expected. But once you're like, okay, we're doing this, and you really get into it, it's
Yeah.
a Zelda game, unlike any of the other like mainline Zeldas. Man, this one stands apart in its own way, just like 2 was something different. Majora's Mask. I can imagine a lot of people playing that game and thinking fondly of it still to this day.
Oh yeah, people
It's,
love Majora's Mask. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's Colin's favorite Zelda game.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has really good like side quests and world and all that kind of
Oh
stuff.
man, yeah.
Because that's what I loved. That's what I loved about Ocarina of Time. I think we talked about this yesterday, Brad, when we were playing something. When I played Ocarina of Time, the stuff I loved the most was like the creepy stuff, like the nightmarish
Shadow
stuff,
Temple,
And the Forest Temple.
Like
with the big hand. Oh man.
like the eerie stuff. I really love that. So if Majora's Mask is more like that, then I'll adore it.
Yeah,
probably.
Majora's Mask got some pretty creepy stuff in it. Yeah, it's an awesome game.
What are your favorite Zeldas? Because you said, Brad, like it's not up there in the ranking.
Probably Ocarina of Time and Link to the Past are like my top 2. Those are always kind of at the top, and then other than that, maybe probably Twilight Princess below there. Then I can shuffle these around though anytime though. So maybe Ocarina of Time is like the one I would just lock in though at number 1. But I mean, I love things about all of them. So it's really hard for me to say. Like Wind Waker, I'm not as big a fan as compared to a lot of people, but I love the world in that game, and I love the vibe and the charm of it. But it's just like, I don't like the dungeons in it, and that's a big part of the games for me, but not for everybody, which is totally fine. But there's something to love about all of them in their own weird little way. Agreed.
What do you guys hope they do next? Both of you, where do you hope they go next with it?
Well, I hope it's a new. It can't be Breath of the Wild, Link and Zelda anymore. It needs to be completely new now. It needs to be a new Link and Zelda. I think they said they're going to stick with the formula in the sense of having this big open world you can kind of explore at your leisure, like they've had for the last 2 like that. But I'm hoping the dungeons are much more. I'm going to say linear in a way, because in Tears of the Kingdom, you have so much goddamn freedom in these dungeons. You can like skip the entire dungeons pretty much if you know what you're doing. A little more structured in that sense, where you don't have that much freedom. I want items to come back where you like find items and stuff like that. And I want the dungeons to be like really big, long events. And maybe not the story to be like scattered, where in the sense of where you go up a certain part in the world and find an old memory. I don't want any more like finding old memories for like that's like the main way the story's taught to you. I want it to be going on in the present where you're there. But other than that, I'm pretty open. I'm pretty open with devs usually doing whatever the fuck they think is fun. Like, I don't need building and any stuff like that again. It was really cool and it works really well, but I don't need that for every game.
Yeah, and for me, it's the same thing. I don't want a third game because we already had 2. And the only reason I'd like it if they go back to this word like once more is if they like majorify it. If they did something like crazy with it, like that would be good. But beyond that, man, I just want something new again from Zelda. Even if I played through Tears with my son, he's 9. And those memories were like special, man, because all the physics stuff. There's on the first island, there's this glider you could take down the mountain for the first time, and he really wanted to get on there and like see if the thing would float. And then it's stuck behind this like ice pillar or whatever. And once he figured out he could like destroy the pillar, and then he flew off, and there was magic in his eyes, man.
Yeah.
And seeing that game, letting him play, seeing it through his eyes, seeing him build shit, that was really special for me. But yeah, give me something completely new after this.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Something brand new. Matthias Lutz Romos wrote and said, "Hi, Brad. I played Skyward Sword earlier this year, and would love to hear your opinion on a few things. How would you rank the Skyward Sword story compared to other classic Zelda games? Also, what's the best way to update games that use Wii era motion controls to modern controls? Because for me, that was the game's weakest point. Thank you very much." Story-wise, Zelda's not really known for its story, but they do have stories in them. I think from a story perspective, it's decently high because it has such a big focus on it. Now, whether that story resonates with you is a completely different thing, but I think the presentation of the story is higher than a lot of the other Zeldas at the time. Like, for instance, I like Twilight Princess's story more because of its characters and stuff like that, but the presentation in this game is definitely a step up, I would say, in that way. But I don't know. Cormus wrote and said, Bradley, you were playing Skyward Sword. Do you find the game drags around the middle when you were tasked with revisiting the same areas again for a different task? That's as far as I got on my first playthrough, and it put me off the rest of the game. Is it worth going back and giving it another second chance? Cheers. I think it's worth powering through. Absolutely. It does pad itself out, like I said earlier on, and I could see a lot of people getting annoyed at that stuff, but I think if you stick through it, because, man, you want to see those dungeons. The dungeons are like the star of the show in this game. There's some really rad ones. So I would say absolutely power through it, because it sounds like you only got to maybe 4 of them. So if you get a chance, revisit it. And like you don't have to use motion controls anymore. You can use the analog sticks to fight now. So that's a big helper for a lot of people to get into the game. Because I know a lot of people that played the game now because of that same reason. So there you go. All right, boys. It's time for Sort It Out. On this segment, we just talk about something in the game industry we're not pleased with, or it could use some work. Could be game, company, person, whatever, however personal you want to get. Simon, is there anything that you think needs sorting out in the game industry right now?
Yes, definitely. And this is not going to be like an angry sort it out.
Sure,
or
yeah,
I don't want anyone to. This is going to be like... Might be like a plea, whatever. I just really wish they'd sort it out. I don't know if you guys heard of Armed Fantasia.
No.
It's there's a couple of years ago. Well, first off, let me get back to the start. I'm a big fan of Wild Arms.
I remember this. Okay,
yeah. I think Wild Arms and Metal Gear, Final Fantasy VII were the games that really turned me from like a casual gamer into someone who's I don't know, who has gaming like as a passion.
Yeah.
So I've played every Wild Arms, and the game will forever be special to me. And we're never getting a new one, probably.
No.
Then. Yeah, there was a Kickstarter a few years back with a couple of people from the original Wild Arms team. And they did it like a duo Kickstarter. So you have like the Shadow Heart series, which I never played. Supposedly it's really good. So a few people from Shadow Hearts and a few people from Wild Arms came together, and they made or promised to make 2 new spiritual successors to both their series. So Penny Blood, that's the Shadow Hearts guys.
Yep.
They were going to make Penny Blood. Turned out after a few years, money's gone. They started writing a book in like the Penny Blood universe in the hopes of getting a publisher to see the book, or the book reach a certain level of popularity, so a publisher would sign off on the game. Either way, they already said, well, we're stopping development on the game completely. We don't have a publisher. Money's gone. We're just going to hope this book does something to the IP. On the other end, we got Armed Fantasia, which is the Wild Arms guys. And I backed the shit out of this thing, man. There's like vinyl and I don't know, whatever they threw at me, I was like, yeah, buy, invest, please make this game. I've been waiting years. Updates have slowed down from once a month earlier this year to like once every 3 months. And now it's been over 3 months since we heard something. And I kind of understand, because for these guys, if they can't find a publisher, and we hear devs like struggling all the time, and this is such a, it doesn't even have a really distinguished look to it. It just looks like one of those anime RPGs. So I get it that there's not a publisher that's gonna go there with them, but they are, as far as we now know, still working on the game.
Okay.
Slowly but surely. At least 4 months ago, that was the last thing we heard. The last sign of life was that they were steadily progressing, but not very fast. Still looking for a publisher, and I just hope that whatever happens, whatever they need, I just hope someone picks it up and just makes it, man. That soundtrack, the Wild Arms soundtrack alone, you kind of hear it in here as well in Armed Fantasia and whatever you saw. And they've had some combat gameplay, and I'm like, oh man, if I didn't grow up with Wild Arms, I would never give this game a second look. It doesn't even look great. It's probably going to be shit, but man, come on. They deserve it in my book because they made like a series I love. And I just want them to sort it out. And I don't care about the Penny Block guys, man. They probably have their own fan base and people who are angry or sad, whatever. And all the best to them. But that seems like, it's never going to come out if they stop development already. But Arm Fantasia, man, there's a slim chance, but please, someone pick it up or sort it out.
Yeah. God, yeah. I hope the game comes out because I know, Wild Arms is a beloved series. Colin loves Wild Arms, so
yeah, he does.
Yeah.
I think he was curious about this game as well. So, man, you hate to see it when games get announced or like these passion projects and they just don't happen. It's such a bummer, man. But hopefully this one's still going. It's not officially dead yet. So,
what's 4 months of silence? Who knows?
Yeah, that's not good.
Could mean anything.
It's not a good sign.
Could mean you're getting up for release like next week, Game Awards. I'll be there.
Dude, that'd be sick, actually. But I don't know. We could only hope. But yeah, get that game out one way or another.
Please.
Are you like a big fan of like JRPGs and like Japanese stuff?
Yeah, definitely.
Locke used to be in the early days.
I'm sorry.
But he has played a little bit of Rebirth recently, so
that's true.
Final 7 Rebirth. He's been playing.
I finally found like a Western lover, but no, it's.
I am a Western lover, but no, I definitely I grew up on that stuff. Legend of Dragoon, Chrono Cross, whatever, man. The PS1 era was crazy for.
Oh, so good.
Gotta say us.
Yeah, God tier time. Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
All right, Lockmore, what about you? Anything you think needs sorting out this week?
It's a short one, but Ubisoft Quebec, they had this, they made, of course, Assassin's Creed Shadows, which opinions are divided about, I guess. Some people liked it, some people didn't like it. I wasn't a big fan. But they recently had this horrible Attack from Titan crossover. I don't know if you guys...
Attack on Titan, yeah.
Attack on Titan, yeah, sorry. I mean, what are they doing? Like, it's so weird for a game like this to have a crossover like that. Like, I don't understand I just don't get what they're doing. I don't think anybody does. Like, Shadows was supposed to be their big thing. Like, Shadows was supposed to be their big Assassin's Creed, and it just didn't work out that way. And instead of fixing it, they're just kind of slowly like abandoning it or like putting it deeper into the mud.
Someone told
they always
me
go off the rails, man.
They do. They do.
After those, and I love Shadows. So let me just say that. Yeah. I really do. And but afterwards, like, the previous Assassin's Creed games as well, like Valhalla and the one before that, like after the game's out, like the base game's done, they go so complete. They get drunk and do whatever and then make DLC.
Yeah, they had like Final Fantasy 15 DLC, I remember, for Origins. You get like a weird chocobo camel thing. It was hideous, but it was in the game.
Yeah, so I just, because rumor is that they're not making like another big DLC now for Shadows. Did you play the DLC? What was it called?
Claws of Ankara, something like that. No. I'm still in the base game, taking my time.
Oh, okay.
Just, it's my comfort game.
Sure.
Once I have a few days off, that's like the perfect world to get into.
Where would you rank it? Would you rank Shadows like above Origins or Odyssey or Valhalla, or how would you rank those four?
Oh, that's really difficult. I didn't even really get into Origins or Odyssey, which is weird because I know like the Assassin's Creed like crowd puts those games like really high. So it's kind of weird being an Assassin's Creed fan myself and then not really getting into those. But anything after Desmond, when he like died in 3, which is my favorite Assassin's Creed, which is even more crazy to say because I know a lot of people like 3 is like the worst and there's a million things wrong with it. But I don't know. I have this really specific taste when it comes to Assassin's Creed. I like Shadows and Valhalla the same. Yeah, I like Vikings. I like ninjas. I'm not too hard to please. Just give me Vikings or ninjas, and I'm good, man.
Cool, yeah, that's cool. Did you fully complete like Valhalla, like the whole and like the DLC?
Platinum, yeah.
Whoa, dude, that's awesome. Not a lot of people.
I went crazy on that game, and it was long as hell.
Yeah,
but I think also because I didn't play Origins and Odyssey, because if you did those,
Sure, yeah.
then getting into Valhalla might be a chore.
Yeah. I played Origins and I really enjoyed it at the time. Then Odyssey, I was like, oh, this is okay. I was enjoying it less. And as more came on, I did play through Valhalla all the way. And I remember that game felt really long. But I think, like you're saying, maybe just because I played some of the other ones, I was kind of just burnt out, I'm guessing, on them. Like, I haven't even played Shadows, but yeah, I mean, I used to love Assassin's Creed a lot. So I'm really hoping that 4 remake's good whenever that gets announced.
What changed for you?
Yeah.
I think it's just the amount of entries. There's just a lot of them. And I'm like, I've had enough. I guess a lot of it is like, I don't have any problem with the franchise existing or going on, but I think I've just played enough of it. It's like me with Yakuza. Like, I love Yakuza games and I've played pretty much all of them, but I'm just like, I need a break for a while.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I'm feeling. But no, I think it's not like a thing of quality at the games or anything like that. It's just like, I personally just need a break.
Sure.
Yeah. I think they also have... Well, they kind of ran into a problem that, for instance, Destiny with Final Shape really just said, okay, this is the end of it for us, and then we're gonna do shit next. And Assassin's Creed has had a really hard time coming back from the whole like modern day timeline ending.
Yes,
the Black was great, but then after that, like, what are we doing? We're walking through offices and stuff.
From a narrative perspective, it's been really frustrating because it's just kind of like spinning their wheels forever. I'm like, you guys got to wrap this story up or whatever. You got to end it. Then you can
reboot. Yeah, if they or not even a reboot, but if they like start like a new modern day, because it gets way too convoluted by now. I don't even know who anyone is anymore. But if they do like start a new modern timeline or a new timeline whenever, I think that will work for the series. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I think Black Flag omits like the remake omits like the modern day stuff.
I believe so. Yeah.
Because that's the one where you were in like the Ubisoft or
they pretty much
differently, but like you were in the Ubisoft offices or Abstergo, I guess.
Yep.
You had to get annoyed by your coworkers or whatever. Or it was such a weird little thing there. But the new one, Hexa or Hex or whatever, however you pronounce it. That is also supposed to release next year, I think. That one has
is that supposed to be next year as well? Good Lord.
I think so, or maybe 2 years from now. Maybe they didn't put a date on it, but that one looks awesome or sounds awesome as well.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's like the witch trials.
It's like Salem witch trials.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Could be really cool.
Yeah, I think Simon, when it just kind of became like a yearly thing or getting 2 a year or something like that, I was just like, it's just a little too much for me. Just slow down a little bit.
And you're probably not the only one, man. I think a lot of people get Assassin's Creed tired, like years before.
Sure, yeah.
Most of us, yeah.
It's all about the setting to me. Like I love
setting is a huge factor. Absolutely.
I loved Odyssey and I loved Origins because of the setting, and then Shadows Japan, so I didn't really care. But Valhalla I thought was great, just too big. But I can't wait to see where they go next. I hope there's also a TV show coming, and the TV show takes place in Rome.
Yeah,
I think,
that's what I heard. Yeah,
which is also super interesting. So it all depends on the setting, I guess. I hope one day we'll see like a World War I version of it.
Man, yeah,
which would be so cool. But we'll see. We'll see, I guess. But I still love the series. I think Shadows didn't hit for me, but I'm very excited for the next one.
I'm always rooting for Assassin's Creed. I'm hoping that like the next one I see, I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
So refreshing to hear, because there's so much hate online being thrown at Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed. Yeah. And you'd almost forget that there are people out there who actually just love Assassin's Creed, and not every Assassin's Creed game, because there's too much, and some of them aren't very good, and no game is for everyone. But it's refreshing to hear people just giving some love to AC.
Yeah. Let's see here. Philip wrote and said, "Hello, summoners. I want to say sort it out to the Game Awards. Year after year, the jury just ignores anything not mainstream enough in their lesser categories. Examples from this year: Trails in the Sky is rated higher than Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, or Death Stranding on OpenCritic. Yet, it didn't even get a shout out in the RPG category. Also, when was the last time a visual novel was nominated for narrative? Aren't those like the narrative games? This year, the adaptation category takes the crown, though. Not only did they forget about a potential winner in Arcane Season 2, not eligible last year, but they also forgot about another contender in the Sonic 3 movie. look, I like the Game Awards. I am from a country where it starts at 2 a.m. and runs past 5 a.m. I love the idea of celebrating the best of video games. This will be my 4th year of watching live and taking a day off work the next day just because of it. But I feel like there is more to do from the Game Awards / jury side to really celebrate the best and even the lesser known categories. At least give the jurors at least a list of the 20 best eligible for every category or something. Just sort it out, Jeff. Damn. What do you think about this, Locke?
It's tough to say because a couple of years ago I would have agreed with him. But then this year, for instance, they nominated Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is my game of the year by far. And a lot of people told me, "No, you're crazy. They're never going to nominate it," but they did. So I think that speaks for them. Same thing with Baldur's Gate 3. Before Baldur's Gate 3 got big, like it got huge, of course, but before it got big, people already told me like, "Oh, they're never going to nominate it. They're not going to play it." I think I understand where he's coming from, but I don't think we give enough credit to the people who actually vote for it because I do think they make the right choices most of the time. The only time they didn't make the right choice was when they made God of War win over Red Dead Redemption 2. That's just my opinion. But no, I think I agree with him to some extent, but I think they do a good enough job. I don't know if it could have been done any better.
What do you think, Simon? Any thoughts?
Yeah, we're actually voting for the Game Awards. So I'm sorry on our behalf.
It's all right. I used to vote on there too.
You. Yeah. No, I understand where he's coming from, man. I have my darlings as well. I wanted to see Blueprints on the GOTY list, but I also fully understand it's not on there. I try to push Against the Storm in there somewhere, which is this weird city builder roguelike, which I absolutely adore this year, but it was also on PC like a year ago. So I definitely understand some of the frustrations. I mean, when I looked at the music category, I saw South Midnight wasn't there. Rogue Prince of Persia, which has a great soundtrack as well, and a couple of other games. Your first instinct is to get like angry, like, oh, why the fuck isn't this game on here? But I don't really see a solution, man. It's the Game Awards are so big, and the voting populace is so big as well. It's really hard to get in there, and I would stop looking at it as like when some game wins an award for best narrative, and you've just played the hell out of some visual novel that has changed your life. That's okay, man. It's just a recommendation. It's an award. It's not. I don't even see it as really the people or the voters saying, "Oh, this game has the best story," because there's a lot of games. Yeah, and not all games are played by everyone on that panel. So if your game's bigger, it automatically, besides quality, it automatically has a bigger chance of being nominated. Especially if people nominate stuff that they're not really familiar with, but they're filling out the list. Which is an option. You don't have to do that. That's good to know. But yeah, I stopped seeing it as the definite award for whatever category it is, and just enjoy the love. Like Blueprints is getting nominated for, I think, best indie. So I'm like, it's cool to see my game, something you feel close to, like a game I love, and those devs, seeing them get recognition for what they did. And it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to please them all. And I don't even know if the Game Awards are really, really, really concerned about this. Yeah, you could call it a problem, whatever. But it's probably as good as it's going to get voting wise.
Yeah, a lot of it is like a popularity contest in the sense of games, like you were saying, that just have more people who know about more. Like Trails of the Sky is a great example of very high rated game, but not a very big franchise. A lot of people know. I'm sure there's on these people that are voting, there's maybe a couple, one or two on each outlet that probably know the game, something like that. But it's not a huge RPG by name, stuff like that, even if it scores the highest. So you got to look
the other way around as well, right?
Yeah.
Who's reviewing these games? Yeah. Who's reviewing Trails? Yeah. Those are the Trails fans. Those are the the JRPG niche lovers mostly. So I think it works both ways.
Yeah.
I I do have a problem with the cutoff, though, because last year,
Yeah.
Indiana Jones should have been there, definitely. And I think this year, Dispatch should have been there. And I think Arc Raiders, because when the cutoff happened, Arc Raiders was already out, but it wasn't as big, right, Simon?
Yeah.
So now it's huge, and it should have been nominated for Game of the Year, I feel like. It wouldn't win, but it should be there, I feel like.
Yeah.
But what if it takes Kingdom Come space?
No, that's not going to happen.
We can't talk about that. Yeah, ideally for me, they would do it like next year, the awards and all that kind of stuff, to give people proper time, like February or something like that, to play through the break and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. There's a business reason why I'm sure they do it in December or something like that. Availability for people. I don't know, but it's just the way it is.
I feel bad for Troy Baker, for instance, because
he's going to win.
Oh, you think so?
Win.
Oh, I hope so.
I definitely think he's going to win because I don't know, man. I really liked Ben and Charlie and Mael, Jennifer English. But man, what Troy Baker did, there was insane enough to take this. Let the Clair people fight amongst themselves and give it to Baker, man. That was impeccable how he did Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I actually think he's going to win for sure.
Oh, I hope so. That would be amazing. Yeah.
I think Jennifer English is going to win. Just Expedition 33 has so much momentum behind it right now, or it has since it came out.
She won at the Golden Joysticks, right?
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I think, or what was it? I think she won like.
It was the Golden Joysticks. Yeah.
You know, I'm rooting for Ben Starr, but I think she'll win it. So we'll see, though. Lots of great performances this year.
Yeah.
Okay, where were we? Oh, this is from Neighbor. Sorted out to me, who in the last 2 weeks started a replay of Red Dead 2 while I haven't finished The Outer Worlds 2, Ghost of Yote, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Death Stranding 2. Hey, don't worry, Neighbor, we've all been there. Sometimes you just got to do what the heart wants. You got to play what the heart wants. And I get it. I have plenty of stuff I should be technically playing, but hey, sometimes you just got to play Zelda again, all right? Just play what you want. All right, boys, time for Keep It Up, the exact opposite stuff we're pleased with in gaming right now. Simon, anything you're pleased with?
Yeah, for sure. And I've heard enough like Claire Obscure praise to last me a lifetime, so I'm not going there, but they did something, and I just want to say to every dev out there making a game not because he or she wants it to sell 20 million copies and is figuring out how do I sell 20 million copies, but every dev out there just making a game they want to play. And there's a lot of them these days. I think it's the reason when Japan was kind of in a funk. They tried to make games that appeal to people and market research and whatever. And when they started being like Japan and being crazy and have fuck it energy again, and they made shit like Binary Domain. I know that's not no one's buying that, but I love that game. And I'm seeing a lot of devs doing the same thing these days. We talked to a lot of them because of the magazine as well. Like last month or a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to two guys from Silver Pines. It's a game they're working on. It's like an ode to survival horror, but also like Twin Peaks vibey. And these guys were pretty much, if I'm not mistaken, they left Arrowhead shortly before Helldivers 2 launched. One of them was like design director. The other was like world director for Helldivers 2. So like big jobs, big success around the corner. And they're like, okay, our work is done. We're going to fuck off now and take like 5 of our friends, get together and make this Silver Pines game that we really want to make. And I was talking to them and they're like, well, we don't need to sell the 10 million or the 5 million or the 4 million. We just need to make enough money to make another game we want to play. And there's so many people like that now. There's a couple of people in Hungary making retro space because they love immersive sims. And like us immersive sim fans, we're not getting those games anymore. So they're making their own like System Shock inspired thing. And you name it, man. Replace the same thing, the little cyberpunk side-scrolling thing. I played it like last month, and that's something special as well. And it's all coming from a place of passion, and more importantly, from a place of which game do I want to play?
Right?
Am I going to sell 1 million copies? Maybe not, but I don't care. I just want to make the next game. So every dev out there, big or small, because Kojima's making whatever the fuck he wants to make as well. So this goes for him too. But yeah, man, devs who make their own passion projects, keep it up.
Yeah, man. Great
Nice.
one. Lockmore, what about you? Anything?
Well, my Sorted Out was Ubisoft Quebec, and my Keep It Up
Did
is
I
Ubisoft.
skip you? I skipped you for Sorted Out?
No.
That was Ubisoft
Okay,
as
I was
well.
like, did I skip you? Okay, I was like, I could have sworn you. I had
No,
you.
don't worry. You did awesome. You did awesome. My Sorted Out was Ubisoft Quebec. My Keep It Up is Ubisoft Bordeaux.
Oh.
Because Ubisoft Bordeaux made Mirage, which is an Assassin's Creed I thought was okay. But now they just released a free DLC, called Valley of Memory, which is amazing, which is a great DLC for it.
Okay.
So I only played a little of it. But I thought they did a great job in it. It opens up a new region and it's free. It's new story content. It's better than the main game. I think so, at least. So I think they did a great job. And I think that's very unique for a developer to release like free DLC.
That is, yeah.
Basically competing with themselves, because Shadows also put out stuff. So I don't understand the time frame there. But I think I think that's awesome. I wish more developers would do that.
Nice.
So both Keep It Up and Sorted Out are Ubisoft studios for me.
Excellent. Just for me real quick, because Simon relieved me. Keep It Up Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Sounds good, man. Everything I'm hearing about it sounds right up my alley. Can't wait to play it, dude.
And retro as well, man. How great is it for us that they
still
came in
got
and
it.
Did their thing.
Because like their last game was 2014, I think, which was Tropical Freeze.
Tropical Freeze, yeah.
Which is incredible. So they still got it, man. It's good shit. All right. Let's take a game recommendation from the audience for the audience. This is Robert writing in, said, "Greetings, Summoners. I've got a game recommendation. Demon School is a very fun, well-written, mostly pixel art, tactical JRPG style game. It's $19.99, and the world may end on December 31st with the demons entering our world. Train in demon hunting, but you have yet to fight any, and you're a teenager at a new school. PC Gamer put it best. It's part Buffy the Vampire Slayer, part Shin Megami Tensei, more Persona than straight SMT, set in a school with light pop quizzes, day-night cycle calendar events, and friendship levels. I am very much enjoying this game, and it's only $25, was 10% off for launch too. Perfect for Portal or Steam Deck, but I found myself playing mostly on my PlayStation 5. Yeah, I've known about this game for a little bit. Seemed interesting, just no time. But yeah, Demon School, there you go. You want a little Buffy the Vampire Slayer mixed with SMT Persona style? Might be your thing.
Looks cool on Steam. Doesn't have a lot of reviews, which is awesome. So it's a pretty small game.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
Is it? Did he say tactics game or?
Yeah. It's like I think it's grid based tactics. I think.
Oh man, I love that.
I think so. I could be wrong.
I'm gonna
though.
check it out.
All right. Next game we got here, though, while you're typing, Simon, is Parasite Eve. You played through this recently for the first time, right? Was this your first time?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. This is an old school Squaresoft PS1 classic, in my opinion. I actually played through this for the first time a couple years ago as well, and I loved it. I thought it was great. But
it is.
What do you think of it, man?
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, it is.
And especially, it is weird, but it's also weird playing this as European. We never got this game in Europe. We never got like Parasite
really?
Eve 1.
Damn.
Yeah. But somehow or somewhere I saw that CGI, like this game is from 98, and I saw that CGI like years and years and years ago when I was young. Could be the CGI for Parasite Eve 2 as well. And I was like fascinated by it. And I was like, someday I'm going to play this game. And I knew it was Squaresoft, and Squaresoft were like kings of the entire industry back then. It was truly their golden age. So I always said to myself, I need to play this Parasite Eve game someday. And I love Resident Evil. And this is obviously like a survival horror game, like Resident Evil, or Silent Hill, like the first one on PS1. And I never got to it. I never saw anything of it beyond like the intro, the CGI intro, which was like, oh, fuck, this looks really good. And then this year, I don't know what triggered it. Could be that there's a team out there making Parasite Mutant, which is, they ripped like everything they could from Parasite Eve. You're not doing anything, Squaresoft, so sue us, whatever. I don't know if that triggered it, but I was like, yeah, why not this year? So I started the game, which cost me my American NTSC PlayStation because I accidentally blew it up. Had to go use an emulator. But yeah, I started this game and I was looking at that CGI intro again. And I was like, oh, super obvious. I something stuck because that CGI looks like crazy. It's the Statue of Liberty crying tears of blood, and then like F-16s flying through like Fifth Avenue between like the skyscrapers and everything, and a lot of fast cuts. And you see this opera singer and people tripping over each other, spontaneous combusting, and it's so like a crazy action movie from around that era. And it has this Christmas vibe as well.
Yes.
So I was completely in. And then the game starts. And it is most definitely not a survival horror game.
No.
Like Resident Evil or Silent Hill. And I was like, oh, now I remember I never saw like a second of gameplay of this game. Never read about it or whatever. So I was in for a surprise. Turns out this is, it's an RPG.
Yeah.
You have random encounters against monsters, and you have to like you can move around during the random encounters. You're like in this arena or room or whatever, and you have to keep them in range of whatever weapon you're using at the moment. You have like leveling up and stats for your weapons, for your armor, and status effect. And Aya, the main character, also has like sort of magic, biomagic, which you can heal or whatever. Only beyond that, it's not only like the concept is weird, like everything around it. This game is based on a 1995 book by the same name. It's also called Parasite Eve. And it's not a matter of like, oh, zombies, virus outbreak, whatever. We've seen this before. It's actually that the mitochondria, I'm not sure how you say it, how you pronounce it, the powerhouse of the cell. They have always been conscious for millions of years, and they were just waiting and evolving until they were like evolved enough to take over humanity. And that point is now. So really weird story. And it's also like part cop show because I, as a police officer, she works for the NYPD. The setting, New York in during Christmas time, made by this Japanese developer, is weird. The guys who run it are they made it in the Final Fantasy VII engine. And it's actually made by Sakaguchi, who's like the grandfather of Final Fantasy. And this other guy, I forgot his name. He was one of the directors of Chrono Trigger. So playing this game, I can still can wrap my head around the fact that these guys and Square Enix made like a cop show with CGI, basically a Die Hard movie with mutants, and also managed to turn it into a RPG. And if you would have told me like Kojima made this game, I would have 100% believed you. It's that weird. And instead of dungeons, you get like the natural museum of history or some kind of museum. You get Central Park. You get a hospital. You get all these familiar spots in New York, and the static backgrounds look great. So a lot to love here, and the pacing's good too. Right up until the end, and the final boss is whatever. Oh man,
what a fight! Yeah.
You can die after the final boss, and it has like 20 forms more than any other JRPG boss in the history.
It's too much.
Insane. And it's also one of those save points that you can't grind, you can't take on any more enemies or whatever to level up. It's just, here are some items, beat the final boss. I was a bit under level, and every time you have to watch this cutscene. Takes 20 minutes. So yeah, that was hell. But yeah, I love this game, even though the flaws are so obvious as well. Because Aya, from the moment you start walking, I swear she is slower than like a baby crawling backwards. It's insane how slow she is. I was like, oh, isn't there a running button? And so often I was like, why aren't I running? And that was like the running. I'm like, okay, your animation's there with your hands going up and everything, but you're still not moving any quicker. And there's there's a lot of backtracking in the environments as well, and the environments are pretty big. So imagine just crawling through all of those, man. Oh my god, I want to
with random encounters.
Yeah, that absolutely, that annoyed me to like no end, and that didn't go away. Inventory management is shit, and it's also hard to see what you can interact with. So you could go into a room, there's a drawer with a key in it, but you tap like the X button for 20 times. Oh, the drawer doesn't open, so it's probably not something you can interact with. And then walk around for 3 hours, come back to the drawer and find out you had to open that one to get the key out. So, but then again, those are three things I absolutely hate about this game. But my final verdict is still, oh man, this is so interesting, such a fascinating piece of history, and being completely surprised by it. So I'm really looking forward diving into Parasite Eve 2. Which I understand isn't as good and is more of the survival horror game that I thought the first one was. But I don't know. I'm actually reading the book right now, the novel from '95, which is weird as well. And I don't know, man. Everything about this game is weird and strange and fascinating. And it feels like a game that from another timeline. Like, what if Sakaguchi really wanted to make a Die Hard movie?
Yeah.
And yeah, this happened. And we got Parasite Eve, and we're never seeing a new one again.
No. Yeah, it's a really cool game. I haven't played the sequels. I know a lot of people don't like the third birthday, but I thought the first one was awesome. Really cool game. I really enjoyed it. It's like survival horror RPG. It's like if you guys have played Vagrant Story, it's like you can like target certain parts on enemies and stuff like that. Like think Fallout, the VAT system and stuff like that. There's stuff like that in the game, and managing your ammo is like a big part of the game, and like your gun and all that kind of stuff. It's a really cool game. Yeah, taking place in New York City. Really fascinating game. I was really hoping we'd get a remaster of it or something, some new form of it, but I don't know if we will, because it is a cool ass game, and I think people would enjoy it if they tried it out. And like you were saying, it's just such like a weird, bizarre game that works for the most part.
And the strange thing is that it does work. And even the system, it doesn't really have to like the VET system, but you're definitely right about the whole. There's like a globe spanning like the area which you fight in, and then some enemies go into it, and you have to like time some weapons because you have to like reload, or some weapons don't fire their bullets fast enough. And the weird thing with the weapons as well, you can like destroy one weapon and add their stats to another weapon. Yeah, so you're like building this really powerful weapon, but it also costs something. So there's a lot of cool inventory management going on like the weapon front, but just it's too much items and medicine, and moving them around is a chore as well.
Yeah, I remember the inventory was kind of clunky in it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Do you think what do you think the audience size is? Is there an audience decent enough? I mean, I feel like it can be, but
I think there is one for a remaster or something like that. I don't think Squaresoft or NX now owns the rights to Parasite Eve, because it is like the book you were saying originally.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if they have control over that or whatever, but I don't know.
Because the third game isn't called Parasite Eve, so that could be it. Yeah,
it's the third birthday, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know then. I don't know. I mean, if they just have to rename it, fine, whatever, I'll take it. If you have to rename it to give me that remaster, it's fine. But I think there could be an audience, I think, a decent enough. I mean, it's not going to be big or anything like that, but if they manage their budget appropriately, I think they could be worth doing. I hope they do.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be too expensive, and it doesn't have to be like this grand Final Fantasy remake thing. But yeah, I'd love to see like anything. Yeah, like I said, man, it's so fascinating. I can't stop thinking. You know those games that you play them and you finish them and they just stick around in your head. Even though this game is like so old, and I've always wondered what it was like, and I finished it and I'm like, oh man, there was truly something special that I played.
Mark of a really fun and interesting game. Yeah, I love that feeling. It's good. Yeah, because I was kind of in the same boat after I finished it. I was like, this is so weird, but awesome at the same time. I'm glad it exists. It's good.
Perfect description.
The Diddler wrote and said, "Diddle me timbers, Parasite Eve. I was but a wee diddler when I fell in love with that game. Come on, Square, give Parasite Eve the Final Fantasy Tactics HD treatment, please. Although I would love a full remake, I somehow think Square Enix would fuck it up. I still can't get over how they fucked up Third Birthday. Parasite Eve 2 was okay. What are some of your favorite Squaresoft games from the PS1 era? Brave Fencer, Xenogears, Toe Ball. I always forget how you say this. Air Gaze, I think is how you say it. All right.
Which one?
Air Gaze. It was like
I think it's German. Guys.
Yeah, maybe that's how you say it.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's like that the fighting game, like the 3D arena fighting game. It had like Final Fantasy 7 characters in it.
It has the best version of the Final Fantasy 7 battle team as well.
Oh, does it? I haven't heard it.
Seriously,
so
check it out.
long.
It's insanely good version in that game. Yeah.
Okay. For PS1, Final Fantasy 7 is number one for me, but a really cool game that I still don't think gets enough love is Vagrant Story. That's a really badass RPG. Kind of expensive game nowadays too, but it is so sick. It has kind of like the Parasite Eve thing when you're in combat, that little sphere opens up and you can target certain parts on enemies. Really cool story, really great art direction, really fascinating game. Please give me a remaster of that game for God's sakes. Or just a port for something. Let me play it legally, easily. Simon, what about you? PS1. What was one of your favorite Squaresoft games?
Yeah, I played a lot of Squaresoft back then. There was an era I really started like gaming like full on. And I think it's my favorite game of all time was a Squaresoft game on PSX. I already mentioned it, but it's Chrono Cross.
Yeah, Chrono Cross.
That was before I even knew about Chrono Trigger.
Oh,
so
really?
yes,
That's
I understand if you're like a Chrono Trigger fan and you play Chrono Cross and maybe you're disappointed but for me this was just this game. Also never came out in Europe, and I think I worked in a game shop back then, and it kind of just came in as like an import game. I'm like, fuck it, I'll try this, and I started playing it. And I remember I was sick. It was like the maybe December or whatever when it came out. And I was sick and it was snowing outside and I was playing this game and I was like, oh man, this might be the greatest moment of my life.
Yeah.
Just laying in bed, hearing that soundtrack. That soundtrack is undefeated to this day.
It's so good,
yeah. and I loved it. And then these characters popped up like from Chrono Trigger, sorta. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And I read into it and figured there was also another game, Radical Dreamers, which was this text-based thing on the Stellaview, which was actually present on the remaster they did a few years back.
Yeah, that was cool. I'm really happy they added that.
Yeah, sure. For sure. And nothing ever beat Chrono Cross for me in terms of, I mean, Chrono Trigger is, well, if you want to finish the list of Half-Life and Ocarina of Time and Prime, Chrono Trigger's on there for sure. Perfect game, perfect pacing, and it's probably better than Chrono Cross in every way. But that game was really special to me growing up, and
I
had
get
like
it.
40 characters you could play
so
with,
many.
and I love it, man. Yeah, that game definitely shaped me as a gamer as well.
Yeah, really cool environments. I remember a lot of nice beaches and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's kind of the Baten Kaitos vibe, yeah.
Yeah. I remember being very confused about the combat system, like the colors and all that kind of stuff. I was like, I don't understand what's going on here. I played it much later,
No one does.
years ago, and I finished it. Really cool game, though. Really cool game. I remember I beat it, then a couple months later, I feel like they announced the remaster, and I was like, damn it.
Oh, but you played it late then?
Yeah, I did. I played through it late, yeah. But I was like, I gotta play it, Gotta see what it's all about.
Let's fast forward, which I like.
Yeah. Locke, before I move on from Parasite Eve, have you seen it at all, or does it sound appealing to you?
Yeah, it sounds awesome. I think I remember when I was editing for Maddie or some other YouTuber at some point, somebody made a review for it that I edited. I don't really remember who, and it looked awesome. But like Simon said, I always thought it was like a survival horror game, like Resident Evil. But when it wasn't, I was like, oh, this is cool. This is interesting. But I never played it myself, so I can't really judge it. But it sounds awesome. Yeah. The way you talked about it sounds awesome. So maybe in the future, maybe if they ever do make a remake, it sounds really cool.
Yeah.
You know where they should start? Just put them on PSN, man.
Yeah.
It's they probably have like 1 million people asking 1 million games, and we're just the guys asking for Parasite Eve or Vagrant Story. But I mean, how hard can it be? I had to do like crazy shit to even get Parasite Eve 1 to play. There dozens of games. I just give me some access. I'll pay for it. I have like Japanese versions of Parasite Eve because I know it sounds weird, but I kind of love the series without even seeing what it is. Something
sure.
drew me to it. I have like all these versions. I'll pay for another one. Just put it on PSN. Same for 2. Same for there's just so much out there, man. I love the work GOG is doing on that front, but I need like the console space to
absolutely.
I don't know, step up. Same for Metroid Prime 2 and 3. Why the hell can't we just play those games?
Because Nintendo.
Yeah,
just Nintendo. All right, final game here from you, Lockmort. Hogwarts Legacy you've been playing. Now, this sounds like a great Christmas game to me.
That was the intention for me as well.
Yeah.
Because Hogwarts Legacy released in 2023, which is not that old, right? It's only almost 3 years old. But when it released, I remember on consoles, it ran fine on like the base consoles because the Pro didn't exist back then. It ran fine. I bought it on PS5. I played it for half the game, I think. And then I also bought it on PC, as I always do.
Yep.
But on PC, I had a 380. Up until last week, I had a 380, and it ran fine on there, but also not that great. And when playing Hogwarts Legacy from 2023 up until now, I always had the idea like, oh, this can look great, this can play great, but it's just not there for me yet. I need like a better system. And then I tried it on the Pro a couple of months ago, and the same issues kept popping up. Like it looked good, but it was washed out, and every time you ran into a door, there was this weird little loading screen, and just it always seemed like a game to me that just needed a actual next gen machine to really benefit from what it can do. And then last week, I finally got a new PC for the first time in like 5 years, I think. So I got a 5080, and one of the first games I installed on it was Hogwarts Legacy, and it looks gorgeous on there. It looks amazing. I had to install a mod, of course, because the HDR doesn't really work.
Really?
So I had to use a mod to make it work. But once I did get it to work, it looks amazing. It looks insanely good. Exactly how I imagined the game would look on a newer system. So there's no longer the washed out look. The colors really pop. It looks great. It plays great. No loading screens on the doors. It plays the way it should have been, I feel like. But Hogwarts Legacy, when this game came out, and when people describe this game, they always use the word, for some reason, I don't really like using this word, but they always call it cozy, right? It's like a cozy game. And for some reason, for me, that word, I don't know, it just doesn't click with me. Yeah. But this game is cozy. It really is cozy. Like the castle, Hogwarts.
Yeah.
It's I don't know another word for it. It's downright magnificent. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. Like just walking through the hallways, looking at the moving paintings or the statues that talk, or just the NPCs. Like there's this clown ghost piece that goes around. It's so interesting to just walk around and like collect these field guides and just read what these statues actually do or where these paintings come from. And the lore behind this place is so cool. We're all a little bit older, so I didn't grow up with Harry Potter. Harry Potter came out when I want to say, we were 15, 16 maybe.
Yeah, sort of around that time.
So I read the books, I saw the movies, but I liked them. I liked the books and I liked the movies, but they never had like that reverence to me that they would have had if I saw them or read them as a kid. But playing this game does to me what I think those books and those movies do to people who were younger at the time.
Yeah.
It takes place in the 1890s, so it takes place 100 years before the movies, or before the books, I should say. And you play as a fifth-year student to Hogwarts, which is very rare. On the way there, you get attacked by a dragon. It might have something to do with a evil little goblin called Ranrook, and your character can see ancient magic. And that's all I want to say about the plot, because I don't want to spoil it, of course. But the plot also isn't very important in this game to me, because this game is all about vibes to me. once you get assigned to your house, of course, you got like the four choices you can make there. I remember the first time I played it on base PS4, I got appointed to Slytherin, which was cool. And they had this cool common room with like snakes. And I remember there was this big watery aquarium in the middle, and it looked awesome. But this time around, I got assigned to Hufflepuff.
Oh, okay.
And I wish I could describe it, but it just reminds me of my childhood when I played. Like when I get to the Hufflepuff common room, it reminds me of Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, or the way you envision your room and when you think back to your childhood. That's what it looks like. So the first few hours I had the game on my PC, I literally spent just walking around, not even running or like going fast, but just walking around and looking at everything and seeing what moves and what doesn't move and what painting does what and what message is it. And it's just so cool. I can imagine that if you read Harry Potter, that this is probably the best game of, well, not the best game of all time in mechanics, but one of the most fun games to relive your childhood here. So even for someone like me who didn't grow up with the books, I think that they did an amazing job here. Of course, in the game, you follow classes, you meet with your classmates, you meet with your teachers, they teach you new spells. And that's where a little bit of a problem arose with me in this game, because the pacing in this game is a little bit off. Maybe I'm wrong about this and it's just I played it wrong. But what happened to me was I got to level 20, and that's when I followed a class and I did basically all the requirements to actually level up. But I already got to level 20, and then I had like a million things I could points in or get this gear or that gear. But I don't think that's the way you're meant to be playing this game. Because normally the pacing in a game is, of course, you level up, you get some skills, you get this, you maybe get some new equipment, and then you can tackle the new quest, and you're basically the perfect level for that quest. But what happened to me was the entire game, or I haven't finished it yet, so I can't say the entire game, but 3/4 of the game where I'm at right now, I'm always over leveled for everything. And I don't think I'm the best gamer ever. So I played it the wrong way, I think.
Maybe.
Because I think if you play it the right way and you follow the rules of the game and you follow the main quest up until a certain point and then do the side quests and then walk around in the castle and explore everything. So if you follow those games, the game's rules, basically, it's probably magnificent and amazing. But I think I kind of a little bit broke the game.
You got overpowered.
Yeah, which is my fault, of course.
I mean, it's okay.
It's not the game's fault.
You can just bump up the difficulty if you want.
I did. I put it on the hardest, but it basically causes the enemies to become sponges. So,
okay, gotcha.
Is it harder?
Yeah.
Not really. But the combat in this game is pretty fun. You get spells, of course. What's really cool and really addictive to me is that your character yells out the spells when he attacks. He rouse out Levioso, and then people lift up, or Accio, and people go Flipendo, and they turn around. It's so cool. It's so wholesome. The combat too. But yeah, the castle itself is amazing. You collect field guides there. There are puzzle doors you can solve. There are paintings with little moths on it, and then you get your little wand, and it glows, and then you have to follow the moth to the painting. So the castle itself is amazing. I spent probably 20, 30 hours just walking around there as an old man, I guess. But but the castle also had a lot of surrounding areas around it, like Hogsmeade, the little town they have there.
Hogsmeade, yeah.
Again, exactly. It's so cozy. It's so... I don't know. The Hobbit, Lord, it just reminds me of The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, Nightmare Before Christmas, all those little...
Don't you mean gezellig?
Yes. Yes, that's the Dutch word for, I think, cozy. What is the word for gezellig? Cozy, wholesome?
Gezellig is a word, Brad, we use for stuff. And it's famous for not being translatable in other languages because it's so Dutch.
That's funny.
Cozy comes closest, but doesn't quite cover it.
Yeah.
So for all those 20 listeners or however many come from the Benelux, they know what he's talking about.
Yeah. It just makes me feel at ease, and happy is not the right word. You said it perfectly, Simon. Gezellig. I wish there was a way to describe it, but it just makes me feel like I did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Around Christmas. Now, that doesn't mean that the game is perfect, because the castle itself is wonderful. Like the characters you meet all have their cute little British accents. It's really fun. They have good personalities. I like hanging out with them. The quests are fun. The main story is fun, but it's still an open world game. So once you get out of the castle and you get out of Hogsmeade, the whole map is filled with bandit camps or dungeons or a million Merlin trials. I didn't play a lot of open world games this year, so it didn't really bother me that much. The only open world game I played this year, I think Yote probably. So it didn't really bother me that much. But Simon, for you, for instance, I can imagine if you played Shadows and then you play Hogwarts Legacy, I would go nuts, I think. Yeah. So
it's
maybe So maybe that's a little bit of a knock against it, but it depends what else you've played this year, I guess. But yeah, I think it's the perfect Christmas game. It also has seasons, and snow, there's rain, the weather is amazing. The lighting in this game, again, the mod I downloaded for it also helps, but the HDR, the ray tracing in this game, it looks so beautiful. It's amazing. If you have a good PC rig, try it out on PC and just compare it to how it looks on the PS5 or the PS5 Pro, because I don't want to say night and day, but there is a huge difference. So I'm really impressed with this game. I can't wait to see how the story ends. I can't wait to see where it goes. But I mostly also can't wait to see what they do with the sequel here.
Yeah.
Man.
Because they can basically do anything. I think they made the right choice in setting it 100 years before the books, so you don't get bogged down by the characters or the familiar story. I have no idea what they can do for a sequel. Maybe go back even further, because people have said like, oh, maybe they can go to another school, but then you can't really call it Hogwarts Legacy because it's not Hogwarts. So I really want to see what they can do. Of course, there's also no Quidditch in this game, so I'm very curious to see how they'll handle that. So I think this game, it got a good rap. Of course, it sold like crazy, right?
It's one of the insane, like a gazillion seller.
Yeah. So I remember I bought this game actually for my nephews and my nieces for Christmas 2 years ago when they were still, I think they were 9 and 10. So, and they don't really play games. Like this was their introduction to games. And they always tell me like, oh, I love that game. So I'm really curious to see what they do next. I hope it's not live service. I think that's like a rumor that's already been debunked a little. I hope they keep it single player, but I want to see it. I hope we see it soon. Yeah, I guess they're working on it because they canceled the DLC.
Maybe it's in the orange box too.
Yeah, orange box too. There you go.
That would be they also won that award for most successful boycott of a video game. Ever.
Oh, that's true. Man. Yeah,
that was like embarrassing.
Yeah. That is another thing. The boycott in this game, I don't want to call it woke because what does woke mean anymore these days? But there is a trans character in the game. Doesn't matter at all. She's in there or he's. I don't know. They're in there. Sorry, but I don't get what that boycott was about because they're.
It's J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, I don't like her.
Yeah,
whatever she said, and everyone's angry at her, so no one's buying the game.
Which is dumb because
100 million people actually buying the game.
Exactly. Which is dumb because the game is very, what do you call it? Progressive, woke? I don't know. It is very current day-ish, but not in a bad way. Like, I guess people can get annoyed by it, but I didn't get annoyed by it.
I think even the best way to describe it is if you play the game, there's really not anything you can pull it into this discussion than everyone's doing online these days. It's just a good game, man. My kid, he's 9 now. We started reading Harry Potter when for bedtime when he was, I think, 4. And we do like one book a year, and he's really into Harry Potter. He really likes it. And when that game came out, man, he and my girlfriend as well. She's not a gamer at all, but I left her with a Hogwarts Legacy one morning to go to work, and she texted me like 6 hours later. She's like, "Jesus fucking Christ, it's 2 o'clock. Now I know how you do this every day." But there's I fully agree that there's something special there. Something I remember seeing it, and what you're explaining as well, thinking, Jesus, when we were growing up, I don't know, we were playing like Pitfall. which was probably equally amazing. But you're looking back at it now and seeing those kids play these games, you're like, oh man, that's probably great. But yeah, can't wait. Echo everything you say. Can't wait to see what they're going to do for the next one.
Yeah. I think the show lock is supposed to come out in 2027. So maybe that's when the second game will come out, or they're aiming for. I don't know.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
We'll see. All right. Very nice. Now let's end the show with some quick write-ins from the audience. If you want to write into the show, I post a thread every Saturday on our Patreon, calling for your submissions. Sometimes, though, with call-ins on, we do not shoot on Mondays. We shoot different days, so threads can go up on Wednesdays. It just depends. So just keep an eye out there, though. All right, this is from I Can't Believe It's Not Butter. Hello, Summoners. This is for Brad and Locke. I tried KCD 2 after hearing all year from how many people at LSM about how great this game was. I have to admit, I didn't enjoy it at all. From the very difficult combat to the nonsense of making potions to save the game. It was frustrating and a letdown. It sucks because I really enjoyed the medieval era. I now feel about KCD 2 how a lot of LSM members feel about Expedition 33 and their fans. Maybe I'll give it another go at another time, but I'm not currently impressed. Sorry, Locke, I tried for you. Summon Sign is my favorite show, so keep it up. Hey, man, don't even compare us to Expedition 33 glazing, all right? Mm-hmm. Not even close to that same level, all right? Not even close there. The combat, I don't think it's difficult necessarily. It's just, I think it takes, maybe it's like a steep learning curve. What do you think about that?
It is. Yeah. I just talked to Maddie, Mr. Maddie Pace, who just completed it yesterday, KCD 2.
Yeah, and he loved it.
He loved it, but he told me the exact same thing. He hated the combat.
Oh, he hated it. Okay.
But I think in Maddie's case, it's because it clicked too late for him, the combat. Because he didn't fully understand the Master Strike, and I had to go back to Tomcat, learn it better. But I get it. Not every game can be for everyone. I've had this exact same issue too this year, even with a couple of games where everybody was raving about them, and I played them, and I think well, damn, it's not clicking for me. So I really appreciate that he tried. What's his name?
It is from I Can't Believe It's Not Butter.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, of course.
All right, Butter. Well, thank you. I really appreciate you trying, because that's awesome.
I love you tried it.
Try games, and maybe you can go back in the future and it clicks.
Yeah, with those potions, dude, for saving, I feel like I never had to craft any of them. I just found them everywhere. Yeah. They're everywhere.
True. Yeah, it's the way it's the mindset, It's like with a lot of games. I think if you go into this game with the mindset I have to play it this way and it's very hard, then maybe you have a different experience. Like right now, I'm playing through it again in hardcore mode over the next couple of months, of course, not in 1 week. And it is a vastly different experience because there you have to craft potions.
Yeah, of course.
You have to.
It's hardcore.
Have to actually, look at the combat and stuff. So it's different, but. Yeah, I would tell him that just go back in a year, maybe in 2 years, and just when you feel different, people change too. So just go back to it at a later point, and maybe you'll like it then. And if you don't, that's okay.
Fine. Simon, where are you at on KCD 2?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I am throwing you in with the Expedition crowd because I've got 2 friends harassing me to play it. And I know if I put in the hours, I'd probably love it or not. I'm not sure, but man, it's too daunting a task to really start, especially once you've got some smaller games on the backlog. So yeah, it's probably gonna be postponed before I get to it until it it's far enough behind me that I lose sight of it and probably never play it. And then KCD 3 comes out and I'm like, oh fuck me, I should have played the last one. But yeah, no, it's too big for me. But I'm hearing nothing but positive things about it.
You can't play everything. That's just the way it is.
No, for sure. Yeah.
What's your experience with Bethesda games? Did you play Oblivion and Skyrim? I assume it's Skyrim.
For sure. Yeah.
What do you think of those games? Fallout?
I love those games. Yeah. And I'm not even one to if games have technical problems or frame drops or whatever you just described, like Hogwarts, not being pretty enough on consoles. I don't even see half that shit. Take Prime, it has this 120 FPS mode and a 60 FPS mode. I don't even see the difference. And People laugh at me. I got a few friends who are really into that, and they don't even believe me. But I don't care for some jank or some frame drops here and there. So,
Sure.
but yeah, I love the Bethesda games. But same as with Assassins, I need to not play too many of them. And I platinumed Oblivion this year.
Oh, okay.
So once you go through the Fighters Guild again, then you're set for another year, and you don't have to play any other open world games.
Yeah.
But are they comparable? Because I always felt like those were way more RPG-ish than this one.
They are comparable, especially Oblivion and Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 are very comparable, especially in the way they look and feel, not in the way they play, because Kingdom Come Deliverance is more like Gothic. If you're from, you know Gothic. It's Kingdom Come Deliverance is more comparable to Gothic in its gameplay, but in its physics, in its first person, of course, the menus and stuff, it basically is Oblivion. It basically stole Oblivion's UI in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. But in terms of gameplay, it leads more into Gothic. Like, it's more hardcore. You know, Oblivion is very floaty. Like, the combat is very floaty there. And the combat in KCD 2 is or in KCD 1 too, is presumed to be realistic. So everything hits harder. There's a sense of realism to it. While Oblivion is more of a game. It's more of an arcadey game.
But you can't get away with starting this game, liking it, and then not at least pouring 100 hours into it, right? It's not a game you can like finish in 40 hours and then leave the side quest for another time.
You can do that in both KCD 1 and in KCD 2. You can do that because you level up, of course, but the combat is so simple, and it doesn't really, because you never fight monsters, right? You only fight humans in this game, or wolves, right?
Yeah.
So the combat, once you get the technique down, and once you get like the Master Strike, which is basically a move you learn, you can basically beat the game without leveling up. So it's all about the experience. It's all about the side quests and the characters. If you don't do the side quests in these games, you don't really learn to know the characters, and then it doesn't have the impact it could have had, of course.
Yeah.
But I think
for me, it's hearing you speak about it. I'm like, oh man, I got to do those side quests already. I'm not even playing the game. I'm not even planning on playing it, but just hearing you say it, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I got to do all those side quests. Can't leave one open. So that's I'm a completionist. So that's gonna fuck me up.
I think if I'm not wrong, I think Brad, you mainlined it at the end, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't do everything.
I didn't do everything in the game. No.
So it is viable. So you can play it that way.
Yeah. I mean, I did it in like 60 hours, everything, and I did a lot in the game. I didn't do every quest, but I felt very satisfied with the amount of content I saw in the game.
Yeah, which is cool. And that's completely opposite, because I finished it in 160 hours.
Yeah, you can spend a lot of time if you want.
So both playstyles are perfectly viable. So I think you can do it. But if I were you and you really want to try it, maybe try Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, because that's a vastly smaller game. You can complete that one in 20, 30 hours.
Yeah, but I feel like from what I've read and from what like the harassing friends keep telling me, I feel like because the itch is definitely there, and you're getting me there. You're getting me there. Who knows?
Do you like The Witcher 3?
Obviously, yeah.
Then you will.
No! Don't say this. Don't say this.
You will love Kingdom Come Deliverance too.
I need to celebrate the holidays with my family and stuff. Who knows? Maybe next time we speak, I finished it.
Yeah, he's super fan by then. All right, this is from Out of Focus Bigfoot. What's up, you handsome devils? This one's mostly for Locke, but if Brad and Simon have any experience with it, I'd love to their input as well. Locke, is Stalker 2 in a good place? I've never played a Stalker game, but I've always been curious, and this newest release seemed as good as place as any to hop in. I'm only on PlayStation, so I've been waiting eagerly for the PS5 release, and now that it's upon us, I've seen mixed reviews at its current state. I know the game launched a bit rough, but it seems like the devs have had done a ton of work to fix the game and add in missing features. But as an outsider looking in, it's hard to decipher if the mixed reports are the most hardcore of the fan base being upset that it's not perfect, or if the game generally needs more time to cook. I'm just coming off 120 hours of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So I'm looking for that next big thing to sacrifice all my free time to, and this looks promising. But if it's not ready, I've waited this long. I can wait a little longer. Thank you for your time. Be well. Wow, Locke, this guy's going for your heart right here to your beloveds.
Yeah. That's what an amazing guy. It's tough to say. Yes, you can play the game right now from start to finish. You won't have a lot of bugs, and you will have a great time. But if you wait 2 more months, 3 more months, 6 more months, you will have a vastly better time. The game is fixed. The game works. All the systems are there. They just don't work perfectly yet. So last year, I talked about the A-Life 2.0 system, right? Which wasn't in the game back then. They were going to add it back in. They added it back in right now, but it doesn't work perfectly yet. It works to a certain degree in like 100-meter radius around you. But it doesn't work the way it's intended to work. The engine is also getting reworked. It's being updated. I think in January or February, the game is getting updated to the newer version of the engine. So if you can wait another month, another 2 months, I would say if you can wait until the first DLC drops, which would be early 2026, could be anywhere from now until March or April, I think. If you can wait until then, because you have a better experience. But if you can't wait, you have a great time right now.
Okay. Locke. Okay. So if they hold off, though, give them a recommendation of something else to play.
Stalker 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
No, that's a joke. Those games are great, but you don't really have to play them to enjoy too. If he just enjoyed Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and he wants like another big game, that's what he said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Tainted Grail.
I was just going to suggest that, yeah.
Okay. Tainted Grail came out this year.
The Fall of Avalon, yeah.
Yeah, great game. Great, another Bethesda-inspired title. Fantastic. It basically had the same problem Stalker 2 had. Like, it launched in a good state, not a great state. Then they updated it, they fixed Act 3, and now it's in a great state. So yeah, Tainted Grail is a great option. The Outer Worlds 2, another great option. Not that big, only between 50, 60 hours. Great RPG. Okay. Fantastic. Way better than the first one, in my opinion. Oblivion, of course. The Oblivion remastered version is also out. Also a great game. Fantastic game. If you've already played all of those, you could play Avowed. I wouldn't want to, but you could play Avowed again on PC or on Xbox. I don't think it's on PlayStation yet.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
You don't like Avowed?
I thought it was okay. I just expected way more from them.
Okay. I expected like way less. So I was really? This is cool. Good experience.
Did you play the Outer Worlds too?
No, not yet. I've been meaning to get to it. That's definitely on the we're not going to pass this up part of the backlog. So yeah, the Outer Worlds. I'm probably somewhere in December. I'm going to get to it. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Because I think if you play the Outer Worlds 2, you'll say like, oh, this is what Avowed could have been. Because Avowed is cool, but it's not really an RPG, right? It's more like an action game. Like,
yeah, it is. Avowed struck a chord with me because for me, it was one of the first times I felt like, do you remember this? This is a really old game, and I don't, probably not that popular, but does Lands of Lore ring a bell?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know that?
Oh,
you know that, Brad? Lands of Lore?
No, I don't.
It's like a super old game, and it's first person dungeon crawler on PC. You actually had to like click the arrows for which way to go, and I've talked about a few games that have been defining for me, and that one is definitely it. I remember like last year when I made my very first Power Limited. And even before that, I imagined writing about Lands of Lore and trying to see who made the game and looking this person up and talking to him about a game that I grew up on. So we made the first issue, or my first issue, that I did as editor-in-chief, and got turned around in circles a lot, but I actually managed to find the guy, and then his wife emailed me that he like passed away like 3 months before that.
Oh.
And I was like, oh shit. And there was such a heartbreaking moment. And I've had some back and forth with her through emails, and she also said about him that his love for Lands of Lore was always something special, and he would have loved to talk about the game. And Avowed truly gave me some of that. And I know it's not like a 10 out of 10 game, and for most people it's not even going to get on their top 10 list this year, but there was something there that reminded me of this very specific older game, which for me was like perfect, man. Just go out into that world and having that same vibe as Lands of Lore did. So yeah, and I expected like nothing. I was like, whatever happened in development here, nothing good can come of this. And then it came out, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm actually really enjoying myself because of the low expectations as well. So yeah, kind of a soft spot for it.
Sure,
it's so funny that you say that, because I think if you like Lands of Lore, have you played Tainted Grail?
No, I heard about it briefly. Is it just Skyrim or but with Eurojank, or Oblivion with Eurojank?
Yeah, it's more. Yeah, basically, it's like Oblivion or Skyrim in like an Arthurian legend story with Eurojank. That's basically it. But it's also way darker than Avowed, because Avowed is a little bit, I don't want to say Disney-like, but it is. You know what I mean? Like,
I definitely feel that. Yeah, with the colors and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Unreal 5. But Tainted Grail is, I feel like, a little bit maybe more like Lands of Lore, because it's like grimdark. It's like it has the enemies are more explicit. The enemies are more. Like, I remember Lands of Lore with the witches.
Did you play Lands of Lore 1 or 2?
I played all 3 of them.
Because the first one, for me, I only played the first one and dabbled a bit in the second. But for me, like 2 and 3 felt more of like what you're describing with Tainted Grail. And 1 was kind of Disney-esque as well for me, looking back at it.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. That's.
But 2 and 3 definitely went that way. That it got like grim and dark, and they had like real actors instead of this hand-drawn facial animations. Yeah. Tainted Grail. I'll thank you for. I mean, I'm here for like 2.5 hours. Got like 6 games added to a backlog that I'm never finishing. So thank you.
Yeah.
But okay, well then Avowed is also a viable option for the person who wrote in.
Yeah.
Did you play Avowed, Brad?
Yeah. No, I have not. Yeah. I hadn't even played through Oblivion yet, and I was like, I'm going to play Oblivion first.
Oh yeah, true.
Before anything else like that.
I just remember, you know why Avowed didn't struck that hard for me? Because it came out a week after Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Or a week before.
Yeah, I remember.
So I remember playing one of those two. Yeah, no, I remember playing Avowed and then playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, like in the middle of it or at the start of it. I was like, okay, no, there's no competition for me. Yeah.
You leveled up.
Yeah, but that probably means that I will go back to Avowed 2 at a certain point.
Sure.
And maybe I'll probably like it more, because I didn't complete it. I only completed the first map. So you probably you'll have a way better understanding of the game than I do.
Well, I to be honest, if you played the first map, that's kind of what the game is. It doesn't really change after that, and it doesn't really get better or worse. But and it is an RPG. But even with all the spells and skills you develop, it just kind of stays the same. And for me, what I didn't like about Avowed was that it doesn't have any like emotional highs or lows, and it just and normally I really dislike that in a game. But in Avowed, I don't know, there was something like probably what you had with Hogwarts that I got with Avowed.
Yeah.
And there's one thing, if you've never played Avowed, or if you am playing it, there's a weapon in there called the Arquebus. I don't even know how you pronounce it. It's like this weird long pirate weapon. Once you stun an enemy, they get like stunned, and then if you shoot them one more time with this specific weapon type, there's a bang going off like from your shot, but it's also it's like the whole valley, the whole game, everyone in that game hears that like stunned enemy fatal dead shot bang, which is the most amazing. I even gave it an award like in our magazine that's coming out next week for the best sound effect ever in the game. Cool. That's great. But yeah, Avowed, man, I really dug it. But I see all the critique and fully get it. Yeah.
Did you play the games before Avowed? Because that was the thing with me. Like I liked Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah.
The Obsidian games.
Those are like the Baldur's Gate type games.
Exactly, and that's my favorite genre, like CRPGs. So I figured it was more like that, and when it wasn't, I was like, oh, well, I don't know why they changed it, but I get that it probably also has its own appeal, right?
Yeah, sure. I fully get that it's disappointing if you come from that angle and are used to pillars. Yeah.
All right, final writing here is from Star Fox Zero Superfan. Hey, Summon Lords. So I'm wondering what your all favorite game covers of all time are. I personally love the original PS1 Japanese FF7, which is just the white background with the FF7 logo. Also love Mega Man 2, which is one of those so bad it's good things. And then the original Doom, which has Doom Guy just blasting demons in hell and looking badass. Anyways, I'll hang up and listen to your answers while I think about Brad showing Locke his Skyward Sword. Wow, winky emoji. Good lord.
That's after I'm gone, right?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Doom is a really sick.
I'm staying.
Doom is a really sick cover. The original Doom. I think that's an awesome game cover. That's definitely one of the coolest of all time. Super Mario Brothers 3 for me is a really great one. That's an all-time classic.
Yeah.
Locke, what do you think? What about game covers?
Warcraft 3? Frozen Throne.
Oh, with Arthas on it? Yeah.
With Arthas and the grin and the white hair. Like it's half his face and he's like grinning evil.
That is good, yeah. Simon, what about you? Game covers.
Do you guys recall the Resistance cover? I think it's
Resistance 3.
Oh,
yeah.
And the teeth of the skeleton were like buildings in New York, like the skyline, the New York skyline.
Yeah, that's a great cover.
Or the Chicago skyline, probably, because I think the game was in Chicago. I really love that cover. There's something about, and even the first one as well, with the weird chimera skull and the World War I helmet on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Classics,
that's awesome.
dude. I don't know, a lot of great box art. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but the Eco Japanese box art is one of my favorites. Like ours here in the US sucks, but the Japanese
we have it as well.
You have the Japanese one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you guys got the good
walking
cover.
Like on
the windmill
on the left.
Yeah. That's the good one. Ours is
amazing.
way worse than that. I was so mad.
Oh,
but that's one of my favorites as well. All-time classic. Anything else before we move on?
What a great question. What a fun question.
Yeah, really fun question. Now it makes me want to look at tons of game art or like covers to see. This is a lot.
The Zelda covers are always something special.
Yeah, always very clean.
Always has been.
Classy, yeah. Always.
And Final Fantasy, same thing. He mentioned it already.
Yeah,
rightly so.
Yeah. All right, boys, that's it. We're done. Thank you both for joining me. Simon, thanks for joining us, dude. Appreciate it. Apologies about the time mix-up earlier. But we got it done.
No. It's all good, man. I hope my it's been a long time since I've spoken English more than the 2 sentences in a row. So I hope that was all. If there ever is a next time, I'll brush up on that. But I hope everyone understood everything. And thanks again for having me, man. Really appreciate it. Cool hanging out. Cool that Locke was here too. Some Benelux magic here. Yeah. And if you ever do a magazine. A Last Stand Media magazine.
Oh, okay.
You know where to find me.
Yeah.
I'll happily do that.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you. If people want to follow you on Twitter and all that kind of stuff, where should they go?
Yeah, just try and figure out my last name. It's if Brad will pronounce it again, and then if you can find me, good luck. I can spell it for everyone if they want. I'll just spell it out for everyone. But it's at Simon, and your last name is Zijlemans. So if you want to follow him over there on Twitter, please do so. Great guy. Thank you for joining us. It was awesome talking to you. Loved hearing about your magazine, Power Unlimited, all that kind of stuff. Really cool because I never heard about Power Unlimited really at all because we don't have it here. But really fascinating, really cool. Love it. I can send you a couple of issues and then you polish up on your Dutch. Yeah, I can practice my Dutch. For real, I'll say if you want, I'll send you a couple of magazines. You can look through it. Yeah, even though it's a different language. Yeah, that'd be sick. Our covers are I'm really proud of our covers lately. So cool. Yeah. All right, there you go. Lockmore, of course, as always, thank you as well, dude. Appreciate it, man. No, thank you. This was Simon. You're awesome, dude. I really enjoyed this episode. Really fun. Yeah, really fun to get to know you. You did awesome. You did great. Yeah, you did great. It was a good time. Yeah. Audience is gonna love you. Anytime. You want me back? I'm here. Okay, cool. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching and listening. I'll see you next week. Take care and goodbye. Summon Sign is a product of Last Stand Media and Collins Last Stand LLC and is proudly recorded in the USA. The show is written and hosted by me, Brad Ellis.
The show is produced by Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. Summon Sign, along with the rest of Last Stand's media shows, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer level on Patreon, our highest tier, and we are grateful for your kind contribution and generosity to our independent endeavor. Thank you.